OG and Team Secret. But before that, we're here back to join you. It's MLP Dota and John X5. Jonathan, welcome back, sir, to the series of the day very, very soon. But before all that, how the hell are you feeling?
Feeling great, Mike. I'm excited to watch this. When you called it the Western Europe Special, I called it Southeast Asia's up against of course Team Secret. Team Secret up against OG, Armel, FBZ. The boys are in it. You know, this is not a Western Europe team. The fan base, Southeast Asian, mainly for both teams, as we've heard. But you know, Southeast Asians love these two teams. But two Southeast Asians on Team Secret. They're a C team. They're not Western Europe. They're a Southeast Asian team.
Very, very true. And this is after the recent edition of FBZ, right? Which I thought was only temporary, but apparently not. Apparently it is. I can't say permanent, but he's still there, which is definitely good news for him and I suppose Team Secret, because he seems to be somewhat fitting into the team, John, which is great news for FBZ.
And Secret's looked a lot sharper, I think, coming in with FBZ, and it's looked like shaped up pretty well. He's managed to fit into that team quite nicely. They're in a pretty good position here in the group so far. Again, it's early days in the groups, but it's hard to say that it's early days in the groups for the play-ins, considering that it's 2 days of groups. So this position for Secret is a pretty good spot to be in. There is a massive tie building up right now for that last slot, with Quest taking a 3-0-0. Everyone else from 9 Pandas, Team Secret, Extreme, all at 1-1-1 at the 3-3 scoreline. So this is an important one for Team Secret to try to clinch perhaps like a 2-0 if they can find it over OG. And for OG as well, a 2-0 kind of bolsters their chances to try to find themselves in a better seed for the deciders, and again, maybe even contesting, considering certain results happen, contesting for that last slot for a guaranteed group. So, a lot in the line this one.
Can't believe I'm saying this, Jonathan. We started the draft early this time. A draft wasn't meant to start for another 6 minutes, I believe, so we have the draft up earlier this time, which is great news, by the way. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Can we head to the draft then? I think we can. Sure. Perhaps. It's definitely happening. It's definitely happening right now. We're confirming that it is happening. I mean, I can see it, Jonathan. It's definitely happening. OG have banned out the Broodmother. There's happy days. Can't believe it, though. We've gone a bit... We were meant to have some segments here, John, for the next 5-10 minutes, but we're not going to have those because, again, we've got a draft underway.
Unfortunate, but great news, as I'm sure all the viewers here in B are extremely tired of us. I mean, I'm extremely tired of myself, Mike, so I'm not sure how the viewers are taking it right now. There's that Broodmother ban you talked about. Team Secret. Surprisingly still banning the Dusa, which is, again, it was left completely alone in the last series. The hero just feels very dead, considering nerfs. Like, its laning phase is atrocious. So I'm surprised Secret still consider it a big ban, but respectable enough. Just respecting that if the game drags on, the Dusa can still be an issue.
Should be. There's the Primal Beast being banned out, which has been a hero that's kind of made its reappearance into the meta as of late. I believe it started to be showed off a little bit at the Bali Major, and well, now it's in this current tournament, like in the play-ins, it has been very popular. Unsurprisingly, though, because it's a bit of a flex pick, right? Like, you've got the off lane, you've got the mid lane that you can put the Primal in. I'm sure there's still heroes that wouldn't mind playing it in the position 4 role as well. But overall, mid lane, off lane, it's still effective no matter where you put it, and yeah, it just gets banned out. OG does not want to mess around with it.
Yeah. Just removing that option for FBZ and Armel. I believe FBZ's been playing that a lot, but we've seen a lot of Armel mid LMBs as well. Going back into Enigma. So back into that. Worked out for them in their first game up against 9 Pandas. I don't doubt it anymore. Again, the hero's laning presence, while the Eidolons were impacted with not being able to take range creep, your repertoire of spells are still really strong. Malphus is a nuisance in lane. The Midnight Pulse does a lot of damage if you can have additional hold. And just getting creeps denied in your face is always annoying anyway, so there's still a lot of value in that. But there's that Rubik pickup that we saw as a good foil to the Enigma. Just pulling that out immediately for Team Secret. Very easy time to steal the Black Hole. Don't have to be too worried about that. We saw some good turns again in the last series we saw of OG versus 9 Pandas. Although Seb did still manage to seal the deal with his Enigma in the end. But I like this from Team Secret. Just, you know, take Black Hole for yourself. They go into the Mars now as well. that should be our equal or our FBZ offlane Mars coming out here. As he is a player that's believed in the Mars even from the DPC time. Mind you, again, Boom Esports did not have the best of times in the Southeast Asian DPC, but I think FBZ on the Mars has always been pretty fantastic on the hero, and it's one of his specialties. With a Rubik in your lane, chances are you should have a pretty decent lane. There's some aggressive threats that can show up. Left back into Spear is always a reality, and you have some good clearing for the Enigma Eidolons down the line, with the Spear Burn and with the God's Rebuke. So it's not the toughest time to try to stop that split push from OG here.
No, certainly not. Well, the second pickup still taking quite a bit of time from OG. I'm gonna deep think about this one.
OG's turn to battle.
I'm going to the Darks here again. Here we go again, Jonathan. They just can't get enough of this hero. DM's going to be playing his third game in a row as Darks here. To be fair, the one game they did win with that Enigma against 9 Pandas was Enigma Darks here. So why not just go back to the same opening picks?
Yeah, run it back. I think the big thing you get with OG here is that your safe lane for Team Secret's just going to have an awful time. Like, there's no easy way for Crystallis to feel good in that lane. You have to deal with Iron Shell, you have to deal with Eidolons. If they will run Seb once more on that Enigma 4. And that's just a pretty nasty time overall for you to have to try to contend with. We'll see what the response will be from Secret for Crystallis on his safe lane. OG already banning out the Monkey King and Bloodseeker, which Crystallis does love to play. Team Secret just covering their bases with a Void ban out here as well. Leaving a few options. I mean, if OG did just want to run it back, a TA is still available. I don't think the Mars is necessarily a great answer, although the Arena can make it awkward to get hits in. And Secret will ban out the Undying, which was surprisingly left in that first phase. That is usually a first phase ban. One of the few heroes that weren't really touched up by the nerf patch.
No, it does make it all the way till now, but neither team wanted it. OG, final ban out, still just focusing on some core pickups here from OG's end. So the focus has been on just banning out those Crystallis heroes, and of course, we know Crystallis is the Monkey King specialist. Had a pretty damn good performance earlier on with the Bloodseeker as well, so they'll just get rid of that out of respect. Naturally, you don't want Bloodseeker against Darkseer anyway, because Darkseer would not have himself a very good time. OG, well, think a bit more about this final banner. The thing is, both these teams have played against each other so many times throughout Western Europe. I wonder what goes through their minds during this drafting phase in a newer meta like this, as they do get rid of the Jug now as well, which has proven to be another popular pickup against the Darkseer.
Lanes pretty well, can scale up pretty nicely. We've always got the spin to counteract the Iron Shell, try to melt through some annoying creeps there, clears out the Eidolons, covers all their bases here on OG, especially leaving a few options. Slark probably doesn't have the best time in that lane, but maybe something like the PL, maybe something like the Naga and Illusion here could feel good, although you are giving the chance for the Darkseer to kind of just take some free illusions for himself as well. But can be one way to kind of scale up here for Crystallis if you did want that. And they have focused heavily on just banning out his safe lane pool right now. They do ban out the Slark on Team Secret's end, which is one of the matchups that the Mars probably doesn't feel good into. And Dark Pack takes out the Spear control. Loves playing into these tanky heroes, so just ensuring FBC has a good time. It'll be the priority now for Secret. Maybe just a support pickup. Enchantress feels kind of dead, although it is Puppy. If there's any support you'd want for him, maybe the Encher Chen.
Yeah, Ench feels kind of nice here against Darkseer at least. So you can purge off the Surge if you wanted to go down that route, but no, you got the Chen, John. He'll go down the Chen route.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Like, you don't get to see much Chen these days, so it's kind of interesting to see this hero coming out. I know it's been making a bit of a re-emergence in this tournament, the Riyadh Masters. But what are you thinking about this hero? Like, how potent do you think Chen is actually right now?
I think it's actually in a decent spot. Again, when we saw the changes to the neutrals, when the patch just came out, I figured Ench and Chen would be a pretty big boon. And only really Ench came out on top with impetus shots being the emphasis as well. But you still do a lot with these creeps. You still do a lot with the creep army coming out with Chen. The healing's still pretty massive. I heard Winter babbling on about penitence damage at the level 10 talent as well. So I guess there's value there. I don't know. Winter should know what he's talking about, so I'll believe him.
Should know. Yeah, I think is the key phrase there, John. So, in fact, Team Secret did run Chen in their previous series against Quest. So they had Chen Jug, it seems like, was the way they ran it. With a mid Meepo, by the way, from Armel. Spoiler alert, they did end up losing that one to Quest, but they have run the Chen, so they see something. OG. Third pick for themselves. 20 seconds reserve time left to make this decision. Chen's just one of those heroes, though. Like, you see this Chen pick up and you just get confused. It's like, what do we do now? Like, we have to address this pick. They're going to go down the Naga route, which is exactly what Quest did as well.
Yeah, Chen doesn't really do too much there. And you can try to heal through the damage, but Naga will just overwhelm you. You need an illusion clear here from Team Secret. Mars just doesn't cut it.
10 seconds.
What hero is left for them in safe lane? Maybe you just run your own illusions? Oh, maybe you consider something like the PL. Maybe a Terrorblade coming out here for Crystallis. It's not the comfiest, especially into the Darkseer. That lane's just never going to be fun. You might have to consider it. CM comes out as well for OG, so yeah, you should, again, just have your solid lane coming out for the Naga. CM Naga lane, pretty easy to run down. You have a lot of presence up against the Mars. You can kind of control them up. Lots of roots coming out here if you get the value point up for the Naga. Overall, I'm liking OG's draft with these first 4 picks. I think it's a refinement of what we saw in the last series. Looks a lot tighter here with Naga core to scale up for Yuragi. Just need a little bit more tempo, I suppose, from mid BZM. In Secret, they'll go into the Sven. They just go for the clear.
I mean, I like it, right? Like, along with the Chen, it's a pretty strong combination. Like, that Penitence plus the Sven damage you can deal. Like, giving the Sven a plus 80 attack speed on that target's always going to feel really damn nice with a Sven that's going to be cleaving anyway. So I love the pick here from Secret. Whether it's going to be good or not this game, I'm not 100% sure, but it seems pretty nice so far.
It does. My one issue with Sven is always his kite ability, so we'll have to see how well they can manage that on Crystallis. Early on, you've already got 2 roots up on the CM and on the Naga. You've got the Malefice from your Enigma, of course. Down the line, you'll have BKB Pierce with normal punch, so it's going to feel nice to just kind of stall out the Sven there. Slow is going to be really annoying for Crystallis to try to chase around here. It does make sense. Again, you're clearing out Eidolons, you're clearing out illusions from Naga, even the Darkseer. You can kind of get that done. As you mentioned, in lane, the added attack speed will feel good. For Sven to try to chase down. You've got a pretty decent combination to play off with. There is enough magic damage on OG to kind of take care of the Sven with a Warcry. So it does feel like for Crystallis, it's going to have to be a pretty fast BKB here. Maybe an Echo Saber BKB build up. Just can't afford to get kited around. OG, respect banning a couple of cheese picks for Armel, Husker, and Meepo gone. So ensuring that nothing too surprising comes out in mid.
I appreciate that. I think it would have actually been a pretty decent Meepo game, actually. So, Jay just not risking it for the... Oh, obviously the Huskers would have been a really nice pick as well in this into this draft of OG, but no Filipino Husker this time around, John. Team Secret, final ban to come. Still looking for, I believe, a mid ban here against OG. Don't know what either team's going for their mid laners here. So Armel, BZM, both a bit of a mystery in this draft so far.
You've got a lot available, to be fair. Like, there's still Ember, there's still Storm, Void Spirit's there. You've got the TA for BZM if you wanted some tempo right click coming out. Although TA here can be a little bit awkward. But you don't necessarily have the burn damage on Secret anyway to clear out the refractions fast enough.
Right.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. If OG, again, wanted to lean into some of that magic they had from their last series,
Well,
TA can be a pretty good momentum core here.
I was thinking I wouldn't mind seeing like the reappearance of the Void Spirit for OG. I think BZM ran that game 1 when they were running this Enigma Darkseer, and it was pretty damn potent. They'll get rid of the Snapfire. I mean, to be fair, Void Spirit might struggle just a little bit against the Sven. There's like just so much armor available on the side of Team Secret. Let's see. They've got 8 seconds reserve time to think about this one, OG. So not much time. They've got to make a choice really quickly. They'll go down the Ember route, which I suppose is a pretty good pick, considering you can just build Maelstrom and just get the damage out that way.
Yeah, Ember's a little bit weird post-patch. His Sleight of Fist attack interval feels really awkward. It can be nice to have that longer invulnerability period, but it also makes it much more predictable when you come out. It's just a lot slower, so your flash plays aren't as easy to pull off. You can see what BZM can get done with that. Armel, knowing his mid matchup, it's left for him. I suppose the Storm's not the worst thing in the world. Storm Ember matchup does feel slightly Ember favored, but I wouldn't count the Storm out, depending on how you outplay in the lane. What else do you have here for Armel? Maybe if you were looking to just crush an Ember, WAP would be available. Go with Lesh instead, so they've got even more clearing coming out here from Armel, and a pretty decent lane matchup. You can burn through the shield, don't care too much if the Flame Guard build comes out from BZM. Not too much to instantly burst down your Lesh here as well. So I like the way Team Secret's balance out this draft. There's some good tempo coming out, they can play mid-game pretty nicely. They've got lots of early sustain for Leshrac to play up front. Once the Bloodstone's out, with Hand of God backing you up here for Armel, I don't see you really dying too often on the Lesh. The Naga Diffusal Manta timing is still going to be big, so you will still be concerned about that in the Leshrac running out of mana in the middle of the fights, but beyond that, you should have some good tempo here for Secret. I would lean into their draft a little bit more. I think as it approaches mid to late game, it starts to even out. You have a lot of outplay potential coming out here for OG in that you've got Song and Black Hole, which is not a hard combination to pull off, along with a Vac Wall, along with CM just dancing in the middle. So you really have all the wombo combo you could ask for from OG, but I don't think their early tempo is as strong as Team Secret's. If they come out of the lanes even, then I can see them hitting that tempo pretty nice on Team Secret.
See, this reminds you of the almost reminds you of the play from what was it, TI2 and Na'Vi? I mean, just the if you could still vacuum within the sleep, I mean, it'd all be the same thing basically, Jonathan. We could have had a reappearance of that, but not so much here. We are going to go into game one between OG and Team Secret. Sadly, we aren't going to get to see a rendition of the play. No patience here from Zoe in the river this time around, as we'll be heading into game number one very, very soon. Team Secret versus OG. How does this one pan out? Only they can tell, I'm sure, as we will go into the game and see exactly what the result is going to be.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was TI3, Mike.
Oh,
maybe you haven't watched enough of that. You haven't read up on your Dota 2 lore. I don't know what I'm doing with you. Like, you don't like the movies I like. You don't watch the play. You don't remember when these plays happen. How dare you?
I can almost recite the lines from LD, alright? I can almost recite them.
Would you
word
like
for
to
word.
give it to us right now?
No, I'm not going to do it. No, stop calling me out. Stop exposing me. Let me lie on stream, Jonathan.
No, you can't lie at home and you can't lie on stream, Mike.
No. Yamich? Oh, Yamich. Whoopsie daisies. Hello. Yamich is going to try and run towards the Roshan pit, but guess what, John? Nobody's home. Where's Roshan? Where is he? Yamich going to try and abuse the fog. He's going to buy a tiny bit of time, but eventually GM's just going to take the kill for himself. Fantastic start for OG.
Yeah, that's a great read. Just trying to go for the gate play up top to make a sneaky play. And Yamich intercepts, so at least he knows they're trying to go through the gate. And maybe not have to overcommit up top, but they should still get away with an even bounty rune trade at least here. OG, and starting off on the right foot already.
Bounty runes though. Let's see if they can contest these. Secret is still hanging around this mid bounty, but Uragi actually does manage to sweep it away. The swipe it away, as it seems like it is going to be a 2-for-2 trade anyway. So first blood going the way of OG, but a 2-for-2 trade on the bounty runes. And this is the lane I'm going to be most interested in, I think, is this top lane, where Chrysalis and Poppy are going to be playing the Sven Chen against a position 4 Enigma of Seb. And DM, of course, on the position 3 Darkseid for the third game in a row. How does this one go? Like, do you give the advantage the way of Secret this laning stage, or do you think OG have the duo to take care of this?
Well, we've seen this lane before from OG, and this does boil down to a very slow lane. Yim had to sit back and jungle for quite a fair bit, but he does go for tempo items, so he bounces back a little bit faster. I'd say probably by level 3 you start to feel a little bit better on Secret, but you have to deal with level 2 Iron Shell. Poppy doing a great job just trying to zone out DM. giving some free space out for Chrysalis. And as long as Poppy manages to give some space for the Sven to ride through this rougher part, as his level scale on, it's not a safe lane for an Enigma. And he went for level 1 Malefice, so no creep denial here either. And can't really tie in Malefice aggression with a Dark Seer all too well. So you're not getting too much value here from Seb on his level 1.
He's going to be very careful with his positioning. DM, oh, he's a bit far forward. Blood Grenade is going to land. Stun will eventually come out from Chrysalis, but the Malefice actually doing a pretty damn good job into the tree. DM placing an Iron Branch to ensure they could not chase him down. So he will survive another day. Props to him for surviving that, because it looked like it was almost a guaranteed kill here from Secret. But and he even finds the Bracer. Chrysalis not going to have his Bracer recipe now. Very, very upsetting stuff.
That would have been a huge boon for Chrysalis. A little bit more damage coming out.
Oh, FBZ. Going down bottom lane. A pretty big kill here thanks to Uragi and Tiger setting up on the CM. Yamich, there's really not much he could have done about it.
Again, this lane for Secret, they can try to play aggressive down the line, but you have to respect that early presence from the CM. Just with a Crystal Nova and Frostbite spam, it can be a little bit overwhelming to deal with. You have follow-through that can come easily from the Naga and her illusions with Riptide. No mana left on Taiga, so not too much coming out, but he does have the Sage Mask for a little bit more regen. Meanwhile, you're completely out for Yamich, just having the 9 charges on his stick to have any play. And this kind of passive lane does just favor Uragi. Just going to be able to sit back, farm, no threat of just being pinned down. Easy setup for Mars. And once this Naga scales up again into the Manta timing with Diffusal, that's when things start to get a little bit dicey.
That mid lane, probably the one we haven't really talked about at all yet. Armel is having a great old time on the Lash. 17 and 5 compared to the 12 and 1. Very strong performance so far from Armel. BZM does not look like he wants to contest whatsoever here against the Lesh, just wants to secure creeps, and he's doing a decent job of it. Just trying to keep up with the Leshrac, but Armel, at least for now, is off to a really strong start.
Yeah, managing that lane well. It's somewhat to be expected up against the Ember matchup. Leshrac does shine quite nicely here. As long as you manage to consistently land Split Earth, you can control the lane pretty well. Rune control is going to be massive here. First power rune should be the point where Secret and OG start to focus in on that mid. Try to open up, find openings for each other here, make some plays. But so far, the lane phase, in terms of farm, not too bad for Secret, but those 2 kills are feeling pretty good. And Uragi having a much smoother time as well on the Naga. It's not like it gets out-farmed by his Sven anytime as well. You can always just clear out, force out. So even Crystal is having a little bit of a better time down the line. It's not going to really improve the class here. Just the early itemization for Chrysalis is going to be
Chrysalis, get caught out. There's going to be a lot of damage flying in onto the Sven. He'll try to throw the Stormhammer in time, but DM's going to have him. Nice vacuum from DM to secure the kill. Tiger with a great rotation, and now Puppy. He's just going to get surrounded. Look at this. The old Warcraft 3 block, but with heroes, John. Puppy trying to run. Cannot make it. Yeah, just Iron Show Enigma, and Seb will just chase them. That's the play apparently from OG.
Malefice is such a dumb spell. It's way too mana efficient for what it does. 210 damage at 110 mana. You can always just run down. So much output, good use of the gate, and easier for the Pos 5 to swing around to another lane for aggression. And because you're Naga, because Uragi's having such a free time, he knows he won't die. He's level 4. He's got a little bit more durability. He's got the Wraith Band up with a Band of Elven Skin, so a lot more armor to play with as well. There's no kill threat on the Naga solo.
Oh, yeah, Mitch, I thought he might have been in a bit of danger there, but naturally Uragi doesn't have anything like that stand up right now, so Tiger's just handing out harassment towards the Rubik. 4-0 though. OG yet to drop a Kill the Wave secret. I mean, you might see a... Yeah, they are playing very, very clean Dota here. John is Tiger. Going to be spotted by Yamich. He's going to be just fine. Yamich doesn't really have the help he requires to kill off the CM. Meanwhile, mid lane, a bit of a jump in now. Armel trying to get aggressive prior to the level 6 timing of BZM. He's going to get a hell of a lot of damage off, but immediately Step starts rotating in. The Puppy also there with double Mud Golems. This is kind of scary, because if they both split, those Hell Boulders, they do a lot of damage. There's basically 500 damage with the 4 mini Golems if he does get to that stage. There's one. Seb will help him out. But he'll just use them the Eidolons. Just get some farm out of this.
Not going to bleed out too much. At least that holds off that rotation from the Enigma. Armel has some space for himself. Does have the regen bottled up. Big rune for the Lesh to find to start clearing out a few creeps here and there. We'll just get to farm efficiency.
We are going to have a quick pause here from OG's end of things. Hopefully everything is okay. I mean, certainly in this game, one thing's feeling very okay, even better. Again, 4-0 with a very slight net worth lead their way. I guess the one concerning point for OG might be the fact that Armel is having a very good laning stage on the Lesh rack, and he might be able to set a pace that you just can't keep up with. I don't think OG will be too concerned about that, though. Like, Armel hasn't outright destroyed the mid lane, but he is 13 CS ahead, and as you can see in terms of the XP department, he's also quite ahead.
Pretty damn good on that Lush. Having a good launching point for the team, considering that slower starts in the other lanes here. That is a big hero to have on a ramp up. For Team Secret, rushing into that Bloodstone timing for Armel, looking for a rotation down bot if they manage to get the catch here.
They'll miss out. Stunning an illusion. Kinda hard to catch Yuragi, though lift is out. Armel gonna rotate in, and they've got plenty of damage now. Yuragi, still level 5. Wouldn't have skilled Song anyway at level 6. Easiest kill of their lives, so Team Secret getting one on the board off the back of the rotation from Armel. Top lane, Chrysalis gonna pop the God Strength, preemptively just preparing for the fight, as they will get the wall illusion out onto Chrysalis. It's a fair bit of damage coming in. Armel is chasing Seb in the meantime, but Chrysalis is in such big trouble. FBZ finally makes it in there, but are they gonna find a decent trade? DM's just TPing out, and he's gonna make it. I can't believe it either, DM. I really can't.
It's just too durable. With a Vanguard up, just not enough damage coming out. Not enough left in the tank there for Armel to look for the cleanup. And just stun stack a little bit too hard. The spear back into the split earth. Not respecting the TPs and get away with murder on OG.
Here comes Secret. Mid lane. Chases onto Seb. BZM can't really die here. Seb, however, he certainly can. Puppy will take that kill.
Ooh.
BZM gonna try and punish Puppy, but it will not be enough. He will survive as he'll go back in onto Tiger now. Tiger copping stuns left, right, and center from these shard golems. But he's gonna survive for another day.
Rather unfortunate for BZM. Doesn't manage to find the rune that he wants. No power rune controller coming in here for OG. 2 for 2 right now in Secret. Armel just gets to step back, farm up before resetting and coming back in. Has a little bit of play with the illusions. Maybe look for a dodge play down the line here. Get himself out of danger if the chains do come out eventually from BZM. Secret starting to find their own position in game. 5-3. Less than 1k lead coming out here for Secret. Not the biggest amount. And considering this pacing here, you are more than happy to find something. You will want to start securing some space for Chrysalis, though. Like, this Sven needs a lot of space to farm up. Wants to hit that fast Echo Saber, clear out, start to play aggressive down the line.
Bit of a chase on DM. He's going to be okay. Armel, BZM, both running towards the top lane. Armel actually leaving the bounty rune. And so BZM's just going to casually walk in and take it. No problems. Bit unfortunate there for Armel. Meanwhile, top lane, DM still playing with fire. Make it Hurricane back by Puppy, but not quite. It's BZM and Tiger still hanging around. The creeps will give vision over these guys, though. We'll just chain up the chain creeps instead. Try to get something for their time. And that'll be about it. BZM, he'll get one of those pine cone creeps, and that'll be enough for him. He's out of it. So we are going to have a pause from Secrets in now.
It's a Southeast Asian pause, Mike.
It is.
Maybe a merienda break for good old Armel.
Of course. He is the Merienda boss, after all. I haven't forgotten, Jonathan. I know it's been a while since I've had the pleasure of casting Armel. Oh, he comes
Just
out,
type
man.
merienda right now. Right now. Merienda. No. Merienda. We know it.
Yeah. Come on, Armel.
old
Hurry
Armel.
up. Let's go. Here we go.
He's done.
He's done.
had it.
He's happy.
That was a quick munch, Armel. Nothing less to be expected from the Merienda Master himself. Dig ourselves back into this game.
That's why they call him the Chief. Yamich. Trouble. Bottom lane is definitely dead. Uragi will take that one. And Uragi, he's had a very free time in this Naga Siren. Second in net worth, only second to DM on the Darks here. He's having probably one of the freest Naga games of his life. At least for now. It's mid lane. Chrysalis. Seb, he's going to go down bottom. Looks like Chrysalis is going to be fine to back out of the mid lane, back into his triangle. But OG may have an idea he's around the area. They are going for a chase. But it seems like Chrysalis, at least for now, going to be just fine.
We've got the double damage rune bottled up as well for BZM, so they're going to clear out some of these ancient stacks. Not the biggest ones, but every single one you take away from Chrysalis is going to impact. And this is very reminiscent of the game one we saw of 9 Pandas versus OG. Just good reads onto the map, good takes from stacks, choking out the side of Team Secret just a little bit here. Still grouped up down bot though.
Yeah, they've got the chains out, Armel. Maybe going a bit too far this time. Going to be locked down and has no way out. Just slowed up by the wall, backed right back in. OG not messing around, understanding how important this Leshrac is. His mid lane, even Yamich now, not going to be safe as BZM will just dive right in with the Iron Shoal damage of DM and hands over a kill to the Darks here across the map.
DM gonna be more than happy to take that one for himself. Almost has the mech up already.
Top
The early
lane.
Guardian Greaves timing.
It's very concerning. Like, you're just finding so much on DM.
Dire's top tower is under
In Secret, I don't think they can defend this top tier 1 tower. Like, OG are just happily diving Puppy. Tiger's even joined in here on the CM. Puppy is there with Chrysalis, so they could try to set up for something.
radiant structure.
They are going to try to continue defending. Problem is their mid-tier 1 towers also being forced in by BZM. So 2 very important towers right now are being taken by OG. As Tiger does jump in with the freezing field out on Puppy. He's forced to pop the Hand of God. He will survive another day, and Tiger is the one to get caught. But it will be a 4-hero rotation to get this Crystal Maiden down. And everyone else from OG will just retreat. In fact, never mind that. They'll move back in because they've spotted out FBZ on the Mars, and he is a much better target than the CM was. Seb will pop the Malefice. FBZ still in quite a bit of danger, but it seems like they should be able to protect him as they'll hurricane him back. He'll survive another day. In comes Uragi though now. As Seb, he's gonna get jumped. Maybe looking for a black hole, but will not last long enough. As Uragi, he will be able to TP on the Naga Siren. Meanwhile, Yamich in the middle of absolutely nowhere, but he's got the Ember Remnants up, so he is running. But the actual Ember Spirit is right behind him. Running back past the cliff. Here comes BZM, and the chains will land. So Yamich, it's a bit of time wasted for sure. But he should be just casually dying here to BZM, I think. And there you go.
Yep. Get some info for the team at very least. Good forward ward to play with here. Right by that cliff area. By the stairs. So they should be able to plan some movement out aggressively if they want to invade that triangle. Should be able to get the info out. Secret, again, they're still getting some room to farm up. The main concern is just how much space Uragi's been given. Like this Naga with the early Midas building into that typical Manta, just going for the heart right afterwards. It's not going to be an easy hero to melt down with all of your AoE clear. I'm a little bit surprised that something like the Diffusal isn't a priority for Uragi. I think Mana Burn's just overall always good to have up against Lesh, but
Dire's top tower
he will still be a hard to deal with hero in the middle of these engagements. Armel, at the very least, has that Bloodstone up. Does have some sustain for himself up front. You are getting the build-up you'd want on Chrysalis. Echo Saber into the Blink. Probably looking for the disassembly play down the line for the BKB.
has been killed.
And once you have the BKB, you feel pretty damn secure on that Sven. He is the main clear. He is the win condition right now for the side of Secret. So you just want as much being eaten up by the Sven. All things considered, Chrysalis was pushed out into the jungle much earlier than you had Uragi going to the jungle. So this is, while it's still behind, not the worst position for the Sven.
Tiger. Looks like he will drop. The CM just playing very far forward, trying to make sure DM does remain protected. Will go down, but Tiger won't mind that. His whole job was to be the sacrificial lamb in that instance. His BZM in the meantime will just take down the mid-tier 1 tower for free. Now, I'm not sure how happy OG are of just playing this slow game, but they do have a Naga. So it's just one of those things, like Naga Siren in the late game, it's not just about how powerful the hero gets. It's the fact that she can just split push the whole map on her own.
And just take control, ramp up so damn fast and farm just from that split push play. Again, you have some illusion clear on Team Secret, but you don't have the mobility just yet. You know, RML doesn't have a travels to go around the map. You don't have that blink, you don't have that BKB ready on Chrysalis. Does have the Echo Saber at the very least. Make a move down bot, but already lost a lot of map space to OG. This is just equalizing. OG going for a smoke play through the gates here.
Are they though? The Secret are waiting around those twin gates. They're hanging around. They're hoping Secret come through the twin gates. No, they're committing. They're committing as a unit. They'll come in one by one. In comes the cavalry right into Armel on the Lesh rack, and Armel's gone. They just left the Lesh behind. It's like, yeah, you'll be right, mate. Just keep farming that area. And OG, they take full advantage. In fact, they might even just play around Roshan now. Though it's a bit early, but they'll just control this area.
Get some wards, cut off that farm. Team Secret still trying to build up on their Lesh and even on their Sven. Still not at the point where they can directly take control of these fights. We've got the blink up in FBZ though. And try to look for a blink arena here, but
I mean, assuming he doesn't die, John. Assuming he doesn't die. So FBC's going for a run. Arena down. He's still going to try and turn back around, but is not going to be able to really find himself a target. Meanwhile, Seb has been caught by Chrysalis, but the Black Hole immediately committed with a nice cancellation. FBC was there, and now Yamich, he's got the Black Hole. He'll commit it. He's found 2 targets. There's no cancel for him, but there's also no damage. There was no damage in the stolen Black Hole. They just didn't have anyone around to get it off. As the song's set up now, coming in from Yuragi, just locking them down. That's Chrysalis gone. Armel is still trying, but he is just surrounded. They're just kiting in and out. Wait for the mana of Armel to be gone, though he is still very healthy. Armel trying to protect FBZ, and it seems like that's going to be enough. But it's still a great fight for OG.
lines up for them. You managed to get the kill you'd want, especially on that Sven. Crystal is just not having a great time right now. And OG, again, moving as a unit quite well. They're just playing around these early spikes. This is a Naga with just a Manta up. Already showing up for these engagements. DM has the durability for the team lined up. Seb always has the threat of Black Hole. He doesn't even care if Black Hole is stolen. There's just no clean follow-through from Secret.
Puppy.
The response is just shaky.
Oh, did he just... He just got netted by a neutral creep. As oh, never mind, BCM! My goodness, Chrysalis really took care of that quite quickly. BCM just gives his life away for a Chen kill. I was saying, I believe the Chen got netted by the neutral camp he was taking out. Because there was 3 heroes suddenly around the creep. So pretty unfortunate for Puppy, but... I mean, who cares? You still got PCM.
Nah, it's all planned. He saw that creep going to stun him. He knew this would happen in the gank. Chrysalis was ready. That is God's strength down, but a pretty big kill for Chrysalis to find working into that BKB. I believe it is going to further the disassembly play now with a recipe coming in. Should have a lot more presence coming out. Just needs the blink. After that point, we've got to see Secret play, because Armel's been ready for a while with Bloodstone. Just needs some follow-through. 14-9, 3k lead coming out from OG. Not the worst position for Secret, but OG, again, in a very strong position to just take control of this game. 1 or 2 good fights into a Roshan takes, perhaps, and things start to really get southbound for Secret here.
Still a very quiet game in some sense, like 14-9, 3k advantage for OG. The split push has started from this Naga Siren. With the Manta up, Yuragi just going to really escalate out of control now. And Chrysalis has shown signs of life for sure though on the Sven.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just needs a bit more time.
Middle tower is under attack.
Lines are being drawn out down towards the bottom lane as Seb was showing on the creep wave. Smoke will be up from Secret. A 4-man smoke. DM would be a very nice target if they can find the Darkseer. The DM seems to realize something might be a little bit awry. Does back his way out at the right time.
Smoke
And Team Secret, they're finding nothing. In fact, you might be right. They may have smoked right underneath an observer ward. So I'm seeing it now in the die triangle.
Yeah, it was covered up by all the icons and their bodies, but smoked right in their vision. OG again. That's one thing that's been highly consistent for OG across all the games we've seen. Their understanding of the map, their positioning of the wards, the way they execute his team is just on point and secret. Would have been a big reveal of that BKB on Chrysalis. Miss out on the opportunity, not clearing out fully. And to be fair, they have 3 sentries in the area. So you do feel fairly confident. But look at that. That one sentry out of range by the ramp. Very unfortunate.
Very. Armel. Not going to find himself a target. Ace Rune will go the way of BZM. Secret still looking like they're prepped for a fight, but realize that the smoke was probably scouted. A bit more cautious to pop a smoke now. We'll just accept the time to farm. It just always feels bad against the Naga, because again, you're just playing a losing game in some sense against this hero. The longer it goes, the happier Yuragi is. Perhaps you could try to force a Roshan and maybe force a fight that way as Team Secret. And they are heading towards that pit, but it is immediately scanned up by OG.
Oh, man.
So OG should be able to react in time. So Roshan is not being taken quite fast enough. So I say that. OG are not close enough yet. Twin Gates usage is there. Tiger's trying to come through, but immediately they just want to try and burst him down. Tiger still just kind of pump faking the Twin Gates. Not going through yet. As Team Secret, they will stop going for the Roshan. In comes Tiger again. This is actually a genius play from Tiger. He's literally stopped the Roshan.
Yeah.
Just by pump faking the Twin Gates. Like, that was it. Armel, caught by an ensnare. Yuragi wouldn't mind getting started on the Leshrac. Though Armel, he's not the easiest target with the Bloodstone, but they will get started as FBZ. He'll make the jump in on Tiger. The Tiger's fine. A nice song set up from Yuragi into the wall of the Darks here. But do they want to re-engage? It seems like they want to try. They'll go on to Puppy on the left side, trying to take down the Chen. Yamich in the meantime, he stole Song. So they're going to lose Puppy, but they'll use the stolen Song to just disengage. And it seems like everybody else will make it out. Only Puppy is lost.
That's Roche open for OG. And that stall play at one pickoff is more than enough for them to set their gears into Roche. Maybe not the fastest process for their heroes, but they've got enough time, they've got enough space to get this done. Lots of commitment out from Secret for the arena being dropped from FBZ. Not the longest cooldown, but and just not able to intercept. Easy in with 2 lives,
they know he's
be a massive
there.
issue.
Very nice Crystal Nova from Tiger, getting the vision. Armel slowed up to an Oblivion as they do get the Frostbite off. It's not going to matter. Armel's still able to walk out of there just fine. OG, you kind of mentioned it, John. They take the Roshan for themselves now. BZM with the Aegis up on the Ember. Still a 5k net worth lead standing for OG. And while you're still not 100% confident taking a 5v5 engagement against Team Secret, it's just the way they're playing these fights are just fine. You know, get a pick off and just retreat. It's more than enough.
They're still choking out the map. It's not the comfiest for the side of Team Secret. Still not able to get these D wards off. And that one obs right on the edge of the sentry, just giving so much information on the triangle area for OG. They're setting up shop now up top. Dropping their own wards, getting, again, more of that forward vision. Ensuring that Secret just have nowhere safe to farm up here.
FBZ, quick blink out. Realizing that the OG side was around him. I don't think this is going to go defended. Like the tier 2 top tower, there's just not much you can do about it right now as Team Secret. When I say that, you do have a blink up and a BKB available for Chrysalis right now. But with no God Strength for another 10, just no chance of a defense to come. Team Secret will just let that one go for free. I suppose if there's any real time you want to fight, like, you may want to go now as Secret. With the blink up, you've got that nice initiation from Chrysalis now, where you can just kind of delete someone immediately to start off the fight. But it seems like they're going to wait for the actual Daedalus instead, before they go for that kind of fight. Oh, whoopsie daisies. That wasn't the fight I was talking about, Chrysalis. Wrong fight.
Well, that's BKB first charge down.
Yeah. He had it in the wrong slot. He switched item slots straight away. When he wanted to pop Mask of Madness, I believe.
It happens. It happens. Muscle memory sometimes betrays you there. Still, OG, I mean, they've got an opportunity now. Smoke out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge opportunity. The BKB usage right underneath a creep wave is going to make it rather hard to hide, as Team Secret immediately just forced to back out of here. Try and give themselves a chance of not falling victim. Although I say that, they popped the smoke. Secret, expecting the rotation from OG, are going to hold their ground in this dire triangle. Mind you, you saw the BKB. It's not available for the Sven, but he may not need it. In the right team fight, they can just burst BZM down immediately. They can find DM as well. BZM, he's going to find himself a target in the Puppy Chen. However, in the meantime, Arena has been dropped, but a nice song from Yuragi is going to ensure they cannot capitalize off this Arena from FBZ. And now OG, they might look to turn this one around. Chains around from BZM, but no, Yamich, he's got the stolen song once again. But it will be to force a retreat for Secret. They have 5 seconds for the BKB to be up on Chrysalis. And it seems like they will not go for the fight.
Just play it safe. You don't want to massively clump up still as well. Up against Seven's Black Hole, he's got his own blink ready here. It's a little bit awkward for Secret to try and re-engage. Nice little back and forth trade. OG, you're going to be feeling pretty alright about that, only having to pop song. And, how do you stop Yuragi at this point? Got the full butterfly and heart up. The Naga's just been left completely unchecked this game. I'm sure you still have the AoE clear to Sven, but doesn't feel like we're seeing Chrysalis apply that pressure anytime soon here.
Maybe once Daedalus is up. You know, just kind of go all in with the 6 slot, you know? Is Tiger going to get himself a free shot from the Tormentor? Happy days for him. Secret, they are the ones looking for an answer, that's for sure, in this game 1. OG definitely the ones more desperate for the points. Again, they are currently one. What is it, John?
I just realized something. Tiger's rushing to BKB. He's got the Darkseer with a Surge, with a Shard.
Oh,
so,
yes.
That good old meme when that CM Shard first came out. This was all over.
Yeah.
There you go. We're going to see it.
I love it. Why the hell not? Oh, yeah, the damage you do with Freezing Field is ridiculous. Even with the going for the Ags to have the guaranteed Frostbite on all the targets within that AoE. I love it. I love it. FBZ. He may not love this, because it looks like the OG are trying to find a jump. And perhaps not by the tier 3 tower. Bit too deep. Chrysalis in the meantime, bottom lane, forced the BKB up. BKBs to get away from, I believe, DM and Yuragi? No, it was Tiger. DM and Tiger just forcing a BKB usage out of the Sven again.
That's the best feeling in the world here for Secret. Backs against the wall. Only one outer tower left here on mid. OG looks like they're going to be lining up for now with Yuragi showing up. And I'm not seeing the openings for Secret. Has to be a really clean fight coming out. Good position coming out with Chrysalis and a good BKB use here.
What's Yuragi farm up now? He's got the full Mage Slayer up. The Mage Slayer now available makes life a lot harder for the Leshrac. Armel, speaking of the devil, barely blinks out in time. Are they going to force another smoke here of Team Secret? So they'll go for the Wisdom Rune. OG is still just controlling this dire triangle. It's very hard for Secret to force a fight in this area when you've got the low ground disadvantage. They hold the high ground, baiting Armel here with the Leshrac. They're going to make the jump in. Armel, he is melting rather fast. He needs to help ASA people with the Bloodstone. He is surviving a little bit longer. Armel still out of there, at least for now. So he will get packed towards the high ground. But I tell you, it cost them a bit of spell usage to make sure Armel just survived that. Like the Hand of God, the arena was all expended. He will make it out, but I don't know how worth you consider that.
It's pretty rough for Secret. And every single time we're seeing them group up like this, it's all to cast some spells and run away. It's OG in control. And it's OG playing this game. It feels like Secret aren't even able to play. Pushed into high ground, no outer towers left.
He sees Tiger. He wants the easy CM kill, but it's not that easy. The Crimson Guard actually allows the time for Tiger to get his way out of there. Armel, he'll land a split earth, but the chains are out. They'll lock him down, though he does have the blood right. Excuse me, rather the Bloodstone, so he will survive a little bit longer, but there's your Freezing Field, locking everyone down. Chrysalis will melt. And now the song, catching all three, lines them up perfectly. Yuragi just going to set up for his team. Yamich at least gets the song back his way. Everyone's singing in this game, apparently. They'll get the other 3 out. But OG's onto the tier 3 mid tower.
Yeah, this kind of looks like we just go next game for Secret at this point. I don't know. They're not finding openings. Maybe a good spear back here from FBZ can open up this game, but your cores are dead. You don't have a BKB or any protection up for Armel. Dispel for himself. Just dies in the middle of these engagements. Yuragi is just way too farmed. 24,000 gold on him. Next hero at 16. That's a ridiculous lead for the Naga to have at this point in the game. And for Secret, it just felt like they had to hit this timing earlier on. Now, Armel needs to take control earlier with FBZ. They put a lot of emphasis top, but they allowed his Naga to free farm down bot. And even with that emphasis top, DM's still farming anyway. And he's got the items he needs to have impact. Argent Greaves, Crimson Guard, Octarine for more uptime on the wall. And it's just oppressive for the side of Secret.
Oh, DM's been having a great time. Like, every Darkseid game he plays, it does feel like he's finding all the items he wants to kind of do his job. And I can't really fault the guy at all throughout these series we've been watching with OG. Like, he's just been playing a fantastic Darkseid. I mean, to be fair, not that it takes much, John. He just needs to buy these horror items and just press the buttons, but that's what he's been doing. Doing a great job of it. And here we go. Smoke out. OG gonna try and head towards the north of the map. Into the dire jungle they go. FBZ may get scouted out. Vacuum back is there. They have found the Mars. FBZ does have a BKB available if he does wish to pop it. He'll use it now. Puppy's around the corner if he needs it. FBZ's still running. BZM barely juking up the spear. Will go on to Puppy instead. But now the song from Yamich. Yamich once again will buy the space needed to get Puppy out of there. It's Tiger. He could not reach for the Frostbite. DM still going after Chrysalis but misses the wall. So instead they're onto the tier 3 top tower once again. Wall stolen by Yamich. That'll help a little bit. In fact, it may just help a lot. So everyone from OG are getting out of there.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Oh, FBZ, if you could set up a nice arena, Chrysalis might just clean up. They haven't got the vision though. They are playing this one blind. Chrysalis, he's going to pop the God Strength, but the chains are out, locking him down already. Tiger, he's baiting them forward. Seb's on the side, just waiting for that black hole. Tiger, still running, still will be able to get away. Chrysalis trying to chase him down, but he can't do it. He's just gone too far. Oh, and a perfect song into the black hole from Seb. Oh, it's a perfect setup. GG, get us out of here. Team Secret have seen enough. What a mess. OG, they play them like a fiddle.
Like, GG, I'm pretty sure here it's not even good game, it's just good God. What happened? That was just a wipe. Secret. Every single fight we saw from Secret, they just ran. Like, they weren't playing the game, I have to say. OG just crushed them. Like, what game did they have? They clumped up top early, they let Yuragi free farm down bot. Armel gets run over a little bit. He had a decent time mid, but just not enough to really take over, and it just falls apart. OG again, they're warding their vision game, they're positioning in these fights, they're understanding these fights, like this movement out from Taiga that we're seeing. Now, all of these things to just collapse, emphasize these lanes, and drag this attention away was massive.
Certainly was. You saw, like, they tried their best here, Team Secret. Like, even moments like this where DM just casually TPs out in the middle of the arena is just so annoying to deal with. And I think OG, you'd have to argue, were just in control the whole game, it seemed like, as just trying their absolute best here, Team Secret. But I'm not sure what to quite blame it on here, John. Like, what do you think Secret needed to change up to really beat out OG in this game 1?
I'm not. It's hard to say. I feel like the draft wasn't necessarily the issue. Maybe just down to execution. Like the top lane, Poppy wasn't able to do as much to secure an early start for Chrysalis, although he wasn't doing too bad despite some of those deaths. I think the main issue is maybe just, again, this emphasis on top and leaving bot alone. Like, no one answered to Yuragi, no one pressured at Naga. They get a couple of rotations in, but they never managed to pin down Yuragi either. And all they could do is back off. Like, they had no great jump outside of just a blink arena. Right? Like, they get stolen song in Yamich, they lose one here, they back off. I mean, it felt like they didn't have a way of fighting. It felt like they just wanted to run every single time. And again, just the vision game from OG, I think is the big thing they've got to watch out for. They've got to, I don't know, I don't know, like, it's like that one ward was just so unfortunate on that triangle. Right? Like, barely, what, 5 pixels away from the sentry range when they went for that smoke play?
Yeah.
But they've got to respect this vision game from OG. I think that's where they really got crushed. Just the movement being a lot better in OG, and the information from OG. Like, remember that Roche fight where Tiger was just spamming in and out of a gate? Like, and he got away with that? It's like, really? Like, come on, they didn't even have vision on the pit itself. They had vision by the Lotus pool.
That's the thing that got me. They didn't even have vision, but Tiger knew when to pump fake the twin gate usage, and it actually kind of worked. Like, it was almost like he could see without seeing. Almost, I'm not sure how he did it, but he just kind of figured it out. Well, with that, John, we are going to head off to a quick break, and of course, right after that break, we're going to be back with Game 2 between OG and Team Secret. We'll see you all again very soon.
حتاكلين تشبع وانت مستمتع وتلاقي الوجبة جاية على الأصول. واو يجيك العيش هش طالع من الأوفن والدجاج يقرمش just the way I love it. وتسوي كذا وتسوي كذا وتسوي كذا مع الحشمة وانت تبغى راب خفيف اجيب تويستر. انا اجيب لي وجبة الزنجر بس كله يجيب اكسترا تشيز على الكرانشي تشيكن في السنتر. حطلب باكت حطلب زنجر حطلب مايتي حطلب تويستر. جيب له باكت جيب له زنجر جيب له الأصلي جيب له تويستر. Delicious. Yeah, yeah.
If time were to stand still where I would lay if time bent to my will, if I could decide where I should remain, where I would hide. Sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I belong. If time were to stand still, if I had a say, where I'd run to, where I would lay, if time bent to my will, if I could decide where I should remain, where I would hide. If time were to stand still, sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I belong. Sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Riyadh Masters 2023. It is MLP Dota and JohnXFire joining you once again for this series between OG and, of course, Team Secret. And we are going into Game 2's draft rather soon. But before all that, Jonathan, of course, Game 1, in case you weren't watching, did go the way of OG in quite convincing fashion. Jonathan, do you put it down to draft? Do you think Secret need to change some kind of... if you were to choose a hero that you didn't think did its role or played its role, what do you think?
Just one hero, it's a little bit hard to quantify. I mean, there was value from Puppey in the Chen, but again, it felt all defensive. Like, all of Yamich's spell use, defensive. Steel Song, run away. Hand of God, run away. It's like, nothing was offensive coming out outside of maybe FBZ and Armel trying to jump forward, but just didn't feel like you had follow-through here from your supports, and I'm not sure if that was a hero choice. It felt more like just the position they were in the game was really hard to play into. So if I had to choose one hero to change, maybe Puppey's Chen. I don't think it played the best into the Enigma. A lot of his creeps early on were just getting idoled. He's being chased around in the lane as well. DM and Seb had a pretty fantastic time up top. So probably the one big change I'd want is maybe the pause 5. Beyond that, I feel like Secret just aren't working together as cohesively as OG is. Because it does feel like OG, even if, we've seen them take some losses here and there, they've only found one win overall. It does feel like their understanding of the game has been a lot more solid, right? Like, especially in that game 1. And in the game 1 they had against Nine Pandas as well. Like, their vision game, their tempo, their understanding of their own power spikes in the draft was much smoother. So I think Secret have a lot to shape up there. Just play as a unit, understand when each one is strong, understand which parts of the map you have to control, which heroes you have to emphasize, because last game Yuragi was left alone. And if they can sort some of those issues out, we might have a closer game here.
Well, let's hope so, John, because Game 2's draft is now officially underway, so we can head over to that draft and see exactly where these two teams are going to be headed for this game number 2. I wonder if OG gets away with their Darkseer Enigma opening again. Because you know what? Every time they've gone for that opening so far in the last 2 series, it has worked. In fact, both games were quite convincing, so I wonder if they just go back for the Darkseer Enigma.
I wouldn't fault them for going back into that for OG. I think the side of Secret, surely you ban out the Enigma for DM at this point. Surely you just take that away. I feel like
you mean the
Enigma
Darkseer?
You can afford to give out. Yeah, the Darkseer. Just ban out the Darkseer for DM. It does way too much. His aura build-up is too effective. He knows what to do with his Vac Waltz. And there you go. They respect ban the Darkseer, so that combination's thrown out the window. OG, will they stick to their guns and pick up the Enigma early on? Doesn't look like they care too much about the counters with Rubik or Silencer. I wouldn't be too surprised if they just wanted that for Seb, but keeping your options open.
I wouldn't blame it. It's the fear of God with the Enigma pick. I mean, you and I, we always talk about it when the Enigma is in meta, but it literally is, where's this Enigma? When's he going to use Black Hole? Does he have a blink up yet? And there you go. I mean, OG, they've already just taken the Enigma again. This is very reminiscent of the way Seb does play when he has to stand in for OG last minute. You tend to choose 1 or 2 heroes for him, and he just plays them the whole tournament. But if it works, it works. And last game, it certainly worked. So why the hell not? Is Yamich going to go for a Rubik pick now? Are we going back to Rubik?
I don't fault this Rubik. Again, like, he was stuck having to go for these defensive spell steals, but Rubik's still a really good solution for Enigma. So I really don't think that was the issue, and they'll just go back into it. The question now is, do you still go back into the Mars? And they'll go for the Timbersaw instead. So I like this shakeup for Secret. I think the Timbersaw can solo play a lot better. It still deals with the Eidolons quite nicely. It's FBZ special as well. You can kind of flex it for RML mid if the mid Timbersaw matchup works out. So it's pretty smooth sailing with that pick. Feels a lot better than the Mars. Granted, again, FBZ is a Mars specialist, but doesn't feel like he had the best impact there in lane and overall in the game. He'd land some nice arenas, but just wasn't enough.
No, it certainly was not. More picks to come, OG. Thinking about this, the second pick a little bit more heavily. Keep in mind, again, we've really only seen Darkseer Enigma coming up, but they're going to go back down the TA route this time around. So this was something that was quite effective with Yuragi. Obviously, we know the flex can be there with Yuragi or BZM for this TA, so can kind of pick and choose whatever lane you want it to go to. I dare say it probably will just be the Uragi TA, but could go either way. You never know.
5 seconds remaining.
To be fair, BZM did take it in Game 2 against 9 Pandas, if I remember correctly. However, they did lose that game.
Yeah. But
Mind you, they went
would
+1 Spectre.
Yeah, that was really down to the Spectre. I don't think it was as impactful as you'd want it to be for Uragi. So maybe something a little bit more up-tempo for him here would benefit the cause. We'll see what the decision is. They ban out the Terrorblade now on the side of OG, preventing, again, probably just going to target Crystallis for the rest of the bans here. What's going to be next? A Monkey King ban. You want to take that out. Slark, Bloodseeker in the pool there as well. And they have room for 2 of those heroes. Secret for their part. They see the Enigma, they see the TA. They should be fairly clear that it's more than likely a BZM mid TA. But again, the flex is on hand. But you want to take out with a Timbersaw on hand. Maybe you ban out the Ursa. I think you can kind of deal with illusions to an extent with Timbersaw. An Ursa is a little bit more awkward for Timb, for sure. As theoretically, Timbersaw has a decent time, but can also get run down. They go back for the Bad Rider ban. So again, pretty much in line with what we saw banned last time. We're also banning out the Bad Rider Den.
More bans to come. Team Secret. OG, they're very focused on the position 1. Secret, just a bit of a mix. Again, I feel like OG are probably a little bit more desperate for the 2-0 victory here. Team Secret currently, I believe, tied in second place with a 1-1-1 scoreline, whereas OG are currently bottom place with 0-1-2. Secret's still thinking about this 4th ban. The thing is as well, like, once you finish this day, tomorrow comes around, you've basically got 1 series and that's it. It's just so important to get through this play-in stage.
Like, it's very compressed. Like, you will play that 1 series, then you'll play a best of 3, I believe, in your decider series, and then you're eliminated. So it's do or die tomorrow. Again, not many opportunities to climb up to those 2 slots there. It has to be clean 2-0s. Secret getting a draw here improves those chances in their group in particular, considering all the same score lines from 3 teams, but a 2-0 win for OG also kind of bolsters them up, and it can go either way depending on how some of these teams go.
But if you do get a draw here for Secret, like, you're looking much better going into tomorrow. I mean, obviously 2 teams from each group are going to get eliminated, I do believe, right? So it's no, it's 4, isn't it? 4 each group.
No,
yeah.
It's 4 in total. The bottom 4 of each group will play into the deciders. So seeding will also be one thing that matters. And then the 4 teams are eliminated from there.
A lot of
games. You could end up with one group, kind of everyone passing through from one group. That is a possibility as well. It could be really funny. But hopefully that doesn't happen, but who knows?
I mean, it doesn't matter if it does it?
5 seconds remaining.
Funny.
It would be
all of Group A passes in, and Group B just doesn't. And it's like, well, okay.
Well, Group A must have just been better. What can you do? Team Secret? Final. Well, what are you going to say, John? I mean, you can't argue that, can you?
No, I mean, if Group A does it, but I was going to say, well, Group A was, Execration's not doing the hottest, and VP's also not doing so good.
You're always going to take a shot at Execration. So Phoenix is going to be banned out.
I refresh the page, Mike, and I see that they're already locked in at the bottom. It's like, well, what can I do but hit my head a little? What else is there to do? It's unfortunate.
Nothing, John. Monkey King gonna come out, so they're gonna go back to the Crystallis special. Yeah, it's very rare this hero gets left alone for Secret, but it does this game around.
Yeah, it's Crystallis, probably #1 hero next to his Bloodseeker right now, so expecting a strong performance coming out from him. There are a few goofy things that can happen for a Monkey King. Midnight Pulse can kind of ruin you. Your Timbersaw can accidentally grief you here as well. So the coordination from Secret has to be on point, but that shouldn't be a major concern. TA into a Monkey King matchup, not the smoothest for a TA. Once Wukong's is up with levels, the additional armor is going to be a mighty pain for that TA to deal with. OG just...
Here we go.
Okay. Oh,
The
God.
Cuckoo Mancer makes its appearance, Jonathan. Here it is.
Oh, God.
It's a great game for the Venom. John, against the Timber,
No,
against the
I was
Monkey
gonna
King.
say this is disgusting because you've got. I've seen a lot of builds for the Venomancer come out. Mind you,
Yeah.
this probably doesn't translate into pro games at all, but I've seen the sheer idiocy of going Venomancer Gleipnir, and it actually works. It's universal, man. This here is just dumb. Like
That's
you
right.
lock someone in, you spit at them, you do really decent right click, and you just run them. It's like, oh, disgusting. This is you are right. This is a great Venomancer game, just highly disgusting. After the curb stomping OG had in game 1, where they watched Team Secret steal a song to run away, now they play the Venomancer. That is true latent toxicity right there.
It certainly is. OG. Fourth pick for themselves. Now, I imagine this should be a support Venomancer we're looking at. Probably the Pos 5 Tiger Veno to come out, I'd imagine. I suppose it could be a core DM offlane Veno, perhaps. You never know.
I feel like a Veno Enigma lane is just so toxic.
I mean,
Malphus, Gale. It's like, ugh.
oh, and it
And
might
yeah.
just be that. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Cuckoo is sitting there somewhere smiling right now. You're seeing
Oh.
Enigma Venomancer offlane. He is smiling. Cuckoo's very happy seeing
Yeah.
this. It's a secret Cuckoo
yuck.
technology.
Yucky, yuck, yuck. Good God. This is gross. Ugh.
5 seconds
Ugh.
remaining.
I mean, to be fair, DM could bust out like a position 3 clock. No, I don't think so, but it could
No, I
happen.
think the Veno with farm is so much better, to be frank with you. It feels so good. Okay, and Secret shift gears. They go to Bloodseeker instead. So that should be probably a support Monkey King, perhaps a mid for RML, although that's probably not the best position for it. So we are seeing Yamich on the Monkey, which we have seen him play multiple times before.
Remaining.
The Bloodseeker in that lane, it deals with a Venomancer maybe a little bit better, but it's still
Yeah.
a melee hero into a Veno Clockwork lane or a Veno Enigma lane, which, again, just Malphus, Gale, Poison Sting, Wards. Yeah, you're just not going to have fun, I don't think, overall there.
Don't forget the blood grenade.
And the Blood Grenades, of course. Thank you, Mike. Almost forgot.
Yeah. It's going to be very nice as well, because with that offlane of OG, like, Tiger's going to have some really easy rotations to make as the clockwork. You just go through the twin gates. It's a guaranteed kill. If you land Malphus into Gale, they're dead. Like, no one's escaping if the clockwork's there on top. So I do appreciate the aggressiveness OG can have in this laning stage. Mind you, I don't think Team Secret can't fight back. I just think they're a much stronger mid-game kind of draft at the moment from Secret's end.
Yeah, it needs a little bit of a ramp up. You need some initial farm and XP on your Timbersaw. You need quite a fair bit of farm in your Bloodseeker. We'll see how much space to get out. I'd like a little bit more tempo for Armel here. Kind of tie in with the aggression you can get out with your Monkey and Rubik. See what options are left for him. Whether or not perhaps he gets Timbersaw, although again, you don't want to divorce that from FBZ. OG, they ban out the Husker. Will they ban out something like the Meepo? I honestly don't know if you care about the Meepo in this kind of game. You know, considering how hard of an early start you have with these heroes, probably don't even care about something like a Meepo matchup.
Oh, we'll see.
Secret seem to be expecting Yuragi as well to play this TA safe, not dragging it mid. Like, TA versus Timbersaw lane's not too bad. Level 1's probably the worst point, but that's just a given for the TA. Level 3 starts to feel a little bit more comfy, so wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to run that. Like, a TA clock lane sounds pretty good by level 3 here.
I wanted to say earlier, by the way, you gotta appreciate the fact that Team Secret literally have the words "buy our bundle" on their banner during the draft screen. I appreciate that.
Yep.
But I don't know what that meme's called, by the way. That face.
Isn't that the Maui Stoneheads?
I don't
Easter
know,
heads?
Jonathan.
With an
Probably.
undying hat? Looks
I'm
like
old,
it.
John. Give me a break. I'm old. All right, I can't keep up with the memes anymore. OG,
Why is that a meme? It
5
feels like an
seconds
old
remaining.
meme at this point, doesn't it?
we're old people, Jonathan. We'll never understand it. 10 seconds
Oh,
left
but
for
it's an
OG.
old meme.
5
Aged
seconds
meme.
left for OG.
Team secrets turn to
Aging by the second year. Thank you, Mike. Snapfire. from Zach.
Snapfire.
There's the universal hero to close it out. That's the mid for BZM. I would expect it doesn't do too bad safe lane either, to be fair. Like a clockwork snap lane sounds extra painful. I wouldn't
It
mind it
does.
either way. You have really good scaling, you have really good lanes. Snapfire doesn't get threatened by the Timbersaw. You know what? I'd prefer snap safe.
Let's take it easy,
rocky.
John. Let's take it easy. You know, don't
You
get
have
too
3
crazy.
universal heroes. Wait, is Clockwork universal? You have 4 universal heroes. Team Secret, they get the Visage, so that should be your FBZ hero. You are running the Yamich Monkey and Armel. It's taking that Timbersaw mid. And now OG can kind of decide. Yeah, DM's taking advantage. Alright.
Okay.
And Uragi's just running the safe temple. Okay, you still match the Snap versus Timbersaw, which is pretty damn good here for BZM. Again, you have 4 universal heroes for OG. That's pretty much go next, perhaps. Like,
Perhaps.
You beat it.
We'll see, Jonathan. I'm more intrigued by this offlane Venomancer. You know, I get excited. It's been many, many years since we've been blessed with offlane Venomancer, and you know the particular player I'm talking about that drove me absolutely nuts, 1TI, as part of the Team T1. That offlane Venomancer was not a big fan back then, but now, Jonathan, I'm a different man. I like the offlane Veno. I think it's a good pick here, and I know Master Cuckoo's out there somewhere. He's happy. He's
yes,
going to be made proud here by DM, I'm sure.
that's for sure. It's funny for me because I feel like we've gone through a lot of phases of offlane Venos from players that play it that when it's dead.
Yeah.
Cuckoo was certainly one. I believe Forev used to run it a lot as well when he was under T1, which is very funny that has happened to 2 players on T1 in very different iterations. But that was there. So that's what comes into mind. This is a lot better. And it's universal type. It's got good damage scaling. It's a medicine lane. You're running Venomancer Enigma. Good God. Just saying that. It's disgusting. I mean, you can tell. I like OG's draft better, but there is play here for Secret. You know, it's not completely closed out from draft, but I just think this early game's disgusting. I think OG are just looking to end the night early so that everyone could get into their hot tubs. I suppose.
Game 1 has officially begun. We'll get into it, I think.
Game 2.
We can excuse me.
We have not
Listen,
traveled back in time, Mike.
It's 5:35 in the morning. Just shut up, Jonathan. Let's get into game number 2 here. Between
Shut up, Mike. Cut it away. Cut it away, producer. We're done.
Get us out of here.
You see? Our producer listens to me better, Mike. Look at that.
Oh,
Wow. Thank
I
you.
think you can see I was uncomfortable, Johnny. You got me off the camera quick. You got me off quick. Anyway, conspiracy theory, Jonathan.
Yes.
Ice Frog waited for Cuckoo to switch to position 5 and then buffed Venomancer. You tell me that's not a conspiracy. Ice Frog.
Perhaps. Mike, you're onto something.
Big smoke up. OG want to go for a fight. High ground advantage is the way of Secret there. They're holding on around the outpost of their Radiant jungle.
30
Puppy,
seconds.
he's in position to break the smoke. Seb's gonna have his smoke broken, so will Tiger. They'll get the vision down. Puppy hasn't seen him yet, and now he will. But can they break the gap towards the Rubik? BZM could skill up Cookie. He'll go for the Scatter Blast and Seb, but a big boundless. Oh, it lands on 3. Secret moving in, just so much damage being dealt. They've also got the Visage to play with. So that Soul Assumption, it hurts. But none of it's going to be enough. They don't have the lockdown.
Begins.
Close but no cigar. Bounty runes, however.
Should be all of them being cleaned up here by Secret. And see if
Yummy.
FBZ does do the run through. That should compensate for a lack of first blood. There's a good 160 gold for everyone to start off with. Gonna feel pretty nice here for Secret. OG. It's always a little bit awkward doing that smoke from Radiant trying to go into high ground. But you do force out a couple things. Blood right level 1 for Chrysalis. Probably not going to feel as good to try to control the lane. In comparison to Terse trying to just CS and copy the harassment. So that does give a little bit of a boon for OG. And again, I'm down bot. You're running a DM Venomancer and a Seb Enigma. This is not going to be comfy for anyone in this lane. It's just not. It's just disgusting.
It certainly is. I mean, at least Chrysalis should be somewhat okay once he has the thirst up. He should be alright to just continue healing up through this, but there is certainly times during this laning stage where if you get caught with your pants down, you are as good as dead. Seb, Go for the block on the cap. Not interested in allowing Puppey this kind of exit strategy away from this toxic ass lane that they've picked here with DM and Seb. And meanwhile, mid lane, Armel already dropping so damn low. Kind of the thing though, that the Snapfire proving to be one of the better heroes against the Timbersaw mid lane. Especially at these earlier levels, just the amount of damage you can deal with this Scatterblast cookie is kind of ridiculous, and Armel gonna have to watch himself against BZM Snap.
Not gonna get comfy here. Even level 2 reactive might not be enough for you once the Scatterblast cookie spam is in play. It's just gonna have to watch that spacing, allow BZM to get what he wants, and get what you can for Armel without risking too much. See, as it develops, Power Rune's gonna be really big here for that mid lane matchup, as it is per usual, but not as big of an emphasis in comparison to other lanes. In particular for Team Secret, I think you'd really want to emphasize it for OG to ensure BZM has that ramp up. We are taking a look up top as well. FBZ on the Visage with Yamich on that Monkey King up against Taiga, and Uragi on the Clockwork TA. Fairly straightforward lane for OG. Melee hero with a good range hero for it to follow up.
Bit of a jump in here from Tiger. Not going to be too much harassment though, as it seems like they are a bit afraid of FBZ joining the fray against Uragi and Tiger. So Uragi just backing his way up. Finding pretty free farm on the TA though for now. Not too much threat his way. I suppose the lane that's probably going to have the most action, arguably, is the bottom lane, but everything's very split up right now. Like, Seb and Puppey are just running across the map together at the moment as top lane. Yamich again going to be chased down by Tiger. He's going to be fine. And Seb and Puppey are still just kind of running into the jungle. Eidolon's now up for Seb. Puppey, kind of outnumbered by the boys. He's going to take the boys out, though. Puppey, he's got them hands. Eventually, we'll be able to get his way out. Meanwhile, mid. Mel trying to get a little bit aggressive against BZM, but can't really contest the Snapfire right now. Maybe this is the way to play, John. Like for this bot lane of Secret, is just make sure Seb's not there to have the Malefice, and ultimately this toxic duo is not really going to pan out anyway.
And it's still extra toxic for Crystallis, but it's much more manageable. It's a solo lane, still not finding that farm he'd want on the Bloodseeker. I want to say as well, Mike, showing those hands. I like that phrase. Very nice. You sounded hip, Mike.
Thank you, John. I did say showing them hands, by the way.
Yeah, showing them hands.
Yeah,
that is how
what
it
the young
attacks.
say.
Very cool. Very cool, Mike.
Well, it's a way of saying, you know, he threw some punches, Jonathan. It's the young people talk.
Is it really? I thought it
Yeah.
was literally because of his attack animation.
No,
He
see,
literally
if
shows his hands.
you're gonna try and threaten someone, you say you're about to catch these hands or something like that. I'm too old for this crap, John. I have no idea. You know,
How would you catch
But-
hands? You
because
I
if
guess
you're like, he's gonna catch it with his face. You see,
Yeah.
mid lane.
Yeah.
Armel, he's in big trouble. He's catching some hands right now, John. Armel's gone. Seb will pick up first blood, roaming on Enigma again.
What a hero.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
How are you going to credit the hero, John? He's level 2
I mean, Seb's-
roaming.
Seb's done this so many times, so he's just insane. He knows what to do with these heroes. He just knows, you know, he comes in, eats a creep with Demonic, runs around, wastes the time for Rubik, come in
DM
with
though.
Malefice, and you're fine.
Oh, I thought DM may have been in a bit of danger there, John. Turns out he was not so much. So just turn around. Seb will rejoin him just to ensure he does remain safe. It's kind of the thing with the Veno, because it's universal. He just goes the Bracer route. So very, gets pretty tanky with the raindrops up, and yeah, even with the Bloodright combo, just wasn't enough. Back, speaking of, well, Puppey, he's going to go for a bit of a run. Seb unable to land the Malefice. Meanwhile, top lane, pings are coming out, but it doesn't seem like they're able to find an angle to make a jump in. Tiger, he's gonna try. Cogs out, not catching anyone though. Let me just find to back his way out. Seb's having a great time just spamming voice lines here on the Enigma, as now still maybe looking to try and jump Puppey on the Rubik. Meanwhile, Tiger being chased down top lane is going to be just fine to pop the cogs. The action all across the map, just little skirmishes happening. Nothing really amounting to anything.
Not quite yet. Do have the kisses ready to go on BZM. So you might look to maybe make a play with a connection here. Just one cogs could lead to a nice kill.
Tiger. Battery Assault actually going to catch Yamich for a moment. Double damage is going to be spotted by Puppy. He'll go right for the deny. Seb was trying to protect for BZM, but see no power rune left for BZM to take.
That should help.
Seb back down to the bottom lane now, where Chrysalis will see him with Puppy, and Seb should arguably just die here. He'll go for a Maleficus play, still running. Eventually, surely goes down. Will finally go down, but now Chrysalis is in trouble. Chrysalis, he'll go for a run, but the kisses are following him up. But it seems like he is slowly getting out. The Tiger's here now, and he has the battery assault. Nice TP from Tiger. And sadly for Chrysalis, I mean, he finds a kill, but it costs him his own life. It's not worth it.
No, definitely not. A nice little win coming out there for OG. I mean, even with Seb dead, he just comes in and refuels BZM anyway, which he was lacking with a bounty taken and a power rune denied. So you're happy on OG. It's 1-2 start. You're getting some good farm going for Yuragi. You're managing to suppress Chrysalis pretty well on his Bloodseeker. Just running this very toxic lane with your Venomancer up. DM is going Midas. And he's going to scale up into his Ags, into a Veil. Very, very quick. Could go Orb build as well on the Venomancer. Quite flexible. And again, you're just seeing OG pretty much take control of this game. Very early on, they're the ones making all the moves across the map right now.
Well, bottom lane, more aggression coming. TP's flying out from Armel in preparation as they are going to run into Seb. Seb, surely, cannot make it this time. I mean, BZM's there. Seb is still juking them out. Cookie's going to land on two. Alright, Yamich misses the Boundless. And Seb is still juking and jiving. Finally going down. Goodness me. BZM still going to make it in time to get the regen rune in the mid lane, though.
He's a happy lad. Seb again with a sacrifice for the team. And allowing his bigger cores to just get that farm they want. Get away. Get the top ups. It's a lot of space for Yuragi. This is very reminiscent of what happened in Game 1. Again, I keep citing that Game 1 of OG up against 9 Pandas, but Yuragi's left it alone, farming that TA, and no one's answering. You know, he's just ramping up. You've got so much pressure in Chrysalis. His Maelstrom's a mile away. Whereas Yuragi, Dragon Lance not too far off. Desolator timing's going to be on point, and then Roshan's wide open after a pickoff.
Bottom lane, they try for a Gale, but don't end up connecting. Tiger was around the corner with the battery assault ready at level 2. Puppy may still get caught if DM just wants to kind of rush in. Instead, Tiger's going to have a look around the corner for Chrysalis, and we'll actually find the Bloodseeker. I'm not sure if he can hope to get this on his own, but he has set up. He's bought a little bit of time for the kisses to fly in. BZM, he's even rotated on the Snapfire. And Chrysalis, he tries to go for a blind Blood Right to land on the Snap, but it will not be anywhere near BZM. The secret in the meantime, they're going to try and pressure the top tier 1 tower. They'll even find Yuragi on the TA. Though Yamich just jumps the other way immediately, not wanting a bar of this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
At least FBZ will be left to take the top tier 1 tower on the Visage, so get something here for his team.
Finds that pressure he wants, already has a Solar Crest. Your Visage can start to do a lot more. And in terms of taking some fights, softening up some targets. We'll see if they continue to apply that pressure. Again, Yuragi's not really pinned down by that tier 1 falling, or even pinned down by Yamich here.
Yeah, Yuragi has been caught. This will be the big one. They've got plenty of damage, but the TP rotations incoming do scare them away. So Yuragi will survive to see another day, and here comes Seb, here comes DM. So they'll only be left with some familiars. They'll at least get one of them. That's going to be about it. Nothing else to come out of this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Not gonna be able
It's
to
kinda-
find Yamich.
You kind of wonder who this is favoring, right? Like, it's a pretty slow game. It does feel like OG's the one having the better time, because they're going to hit this power spike with this TA at some point and just take Roshan with the Desolator up, and well, that we kind of seen this already with OG. Like, as soon as the Deso's up, you go Roshan, and then you just take over the game, right?
Dire's bottom tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
Just have control. There's no clear answer for that TA. No clear way of melting through the refraction outside of Familiars landing some punches. And I think for the side of OG, I mean, this game favors them. It's not just them being in control early on, but as they scale up. This is an Enigma with Black Hole threat. Sure, you're onto Rubik, but we've seen OG not really care. Seb's been pretty on point with his patience on casting these Black Holes. You've got a Snapfire that can scale up well beyond your TA. You've got a Veno who gets more utility as the game goes on. With the Ags and the Poison Nova coming out from the Ags, the latent toxicity. His Shard and Ags upgrades are pretty huge. You've got some good power spikes spread across here for OG. Whereas for Team Secret, I mean, you've got some good ramping up. You can never discount what a Bloodseeker can do in a well-positioned fight. You can never count out a Timbersaw as well, with no hard counters coming out here for Armel. His scaling is also pretty on point, but it just feels like they're not finding enough early on to compensate for this much quicker timing on OG. Like, the big issue is really just Uragi, as you mentioned. Like, the Desolator's the one launching point that once it's up for OG, that's where things can really tumble out of control here for Secret.
Yeah. And the Secret seem to be just kind of biding their time as well. Very passive kind of game from them for now, but they are slowly getting to that point where they're going to be ready. Because considering Armel, I was going to say he hasn't had the best game in the world. Like, he did have to play a little bit of catch-up after the laning stage, so I suppose you haven't really been able to play off the back of this Timbersaw either. There is that. So OG slowly heading up toward the top lane now, looking perhaps towards FBZ and Yamich. FBZ obviously the primary target. Uragi already dealing with some familiars as BZM is slowly moving in. Kisses will fly out onto FBZ, just burning through the Gravekeeper's cloak. And FBZ, he's buying himself a little bit more time, but it's not going to be enough. At least they will get Tiger with a rupture. Though Tiger trying for the TP, he's going to make it. Oh,
No way.
Tiger. It's just sickening. It's so yuck to watch. Like, he gets away with these things.
And he does.
Armel. Chained up. Cannot make it. And there's a shotty. EZM's got him.
Yeah, this is rough. The Secret. Your hard lockdown on your actual heroes are pretty long cooldown. Like, Boundless Strike at level 1 is 28-second cooldown. The lift up is 28 seconds. You're relying maybe on the familiars to come out, but FBZ loses them and dies. Can't really do too much about that, and they just bail out. It's... I know. Secret... I'm not sure what item really fixes this. Like, Crystallis with a Maelstrom isn't enough. Gonna need a BKB on top here.
Speaking of the
for your
Devil Chunk.
Bloodseeker.
Crystallis, Hawkshot, Tiger, he's gonna go right for the head, go after the Bloodseeker, and look at this, by himself, the amount of damage he deals with this Battery Assault, he will be saved by Yamich. Tiger this time around will not be able to get away with this. No TP available, he will get punished. But he was one tick away from just killing off Crystallis with that Battery Assault. Had Yamich not been there with the Boundless, that would have been it.
Yeah. That just would have been so disastrous for Secret. They buy some time, they buy some space, they find some punishment, but this is also space for OG. It's Uragi farming up. It's him having his Deso fly out. That's the key timing that we've been talking about. Like, this TA is ready to go. One good team fight into Roshan is all it's going to take. You start to hit that pace on OG. You've got the Ags rush for DM after going into the Midas. Already one part in. Still 2.5k away from full Ags, but Poison Nova going to be up. It's like, it just gets real ugly for Secret before these BKBs start to fly in.
It really does.
Not playtime. And not that sort, anyhow.
Deso's up on Uragi, like, he might want to just play for Roshan now. Yamich trying his best to just push out the top lane. I believe Roshan is coming. And there it is, he's up at the top side now. There's your Maelstrom build up on Crystallis, but you kind of already mentioned it, this isn't going to be anywhere near enough. Up until the BKB, he certainly won't be willing to fight. He's going to escalate his farm a little bit. OG, I think Uragi, let's push out the top lane and maybe start for that Roshan, though. Seems like OG have different plans. Right now, looking towards Armel at the bottom lane. Just trying to find themselves a pick-off. Looks like they're going to find one. It'll be Puppy on the Rubik. Getting caught into the kisses. Just locked in the cogs. Perfect setup from Tiger. DM just going to casually TP away.
Yeah.
Yamish gets the tip as well on top. He didn't Boundless, he went for the Primal Spring instead. Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. At the very least, Puppy got to steal Gale for a moment. Spat back right to DM, so he got to
Very
experience
nice.
some of that toxicity. Not
Yeah.
enough, but it sends a message, right?
It does. A 6k advantage now from OG, 3 to 6, 16.5 minutes in.
That should help.
Tiger, at least for me, has been the MVP of this game on the clockwork. It's as he was last series as well, quite frankly. It's a fantastic support performance here from Tiger, at least so far. It's very annoying giving a hero like this away to a player like this, because he just scouts out so much of the map with the utility he does have. At least now, they do have a pipe up on Secret. Like, FBZ does have his pipe ready, so you could try to play off of that. But OG, they are slowly securing the area around Roshan. So Secret, it seems like they know they've got to head up to that area and try to contest. But Roshan hasn't started yet, but they see OG, they see Seb, they'll see DM now, they'll make the jump in immediately, they just want the Veno, though DM proving to be a little bit tankier than you'd expect, getting a bit of damage off before he does go down. But with the pipe out, they don't really take too much. Seb, in the meantime, also scouted by FBZ's familiars, will go down. A nice fight from Secret.
It's a huge opening. Team fights taken away from OG.
Tower is under attack.
OG, for their part, just planting some wards, getting some vision in, where the fight can fully break out. They spot the sentry, but they don't spot the obs.
No, they don't spot the Obs or Tiger in the tree line here, John. Tiger, he's got the hook shot up. He's got a rocket flare ready. He'll just wait for the right moment. Mind you, the rocket flare will make it pretty obvious where he is right now. We'll get the vision. Familiars will start scouting out immediately. Tiger, how you going to get yourself out of this one? He'll cogs up, hook shot. It won't be enough. He is gone. But he has bought his team time to make their way over. They'll rupture up the TA now. He's a bit of a sitting duck. Uragi, how do you get out of this one? Puppy, he's the target, but Uragi just dropping way too low is gone. They've lost the TA. Onto Seb they go, the Enigma. A bit of a sitting duck. He's down. In fact, DM, he just respawned up. But he's gone to boot. 4 down from Team Secret. ZOG, one by one they will come and one by one they will fall. And sadly, I think for Tiger, just a little bit too early on the rocket flare. Just giving away his position does cost them the Age of Steel attempt.
Just way too soon. He just went into the pit. And also a little bit surprising with the position of Uragi. So far forward, not respecting that there was a sentry that just dewarded their own sentry. In that exact same position, he was right within range. Doesn't really have any outplay potential with meld. Comps a lot of damage for the team, but that shouldn't be his job as a TA. That should be maybe DM, maybe Tiger, maybe Seb.
Big team fight to break out, it seems. They had plenty of vision. Tiger, thinking about the hook shot, won't go for it yet. They are trying to play without the kisses on BZM, so it's a little bit risky. Considering as well, you do still have the Aegis on Secret side. Mind you, it is on Armel, who wasn't around for that fight, but would have probably got in there pretty quickly. I say that, he has no TP, so probably not. Still 9 to 6 now, 2k advantage for OG. Secret showing that they're not out of it yet, and with the Sages up, they should be able to try and secure another team fight for themselves a bit later on down the line. For now, OG probably just going to play the avoid game. Just don't go near it.
Just use this Aegis to really just build yourself back into this game. Armel's managed to provide a strong point with Lotus and Kai's Sancho up now on that Timb. And again, they're getting a lot more durable on the side of Secret. For OG, their later power spikes on BZM, it's going to take level 20, level 25 for you to really kick into gear. That's a long ways off here for the Snapfire. Seb, as well, lacking that blink. Not going to be able to start these fights for the team. We'll need to start considering stuff like, say, a BKB for protection, or even just probably a Link into this game is a little bit more impactful as well, if you can get that done. Even Yamich starting to scale up here on Secret. Just ground boots or Venom and Diffusal, but that control you have with the Inhibit and the Orb of Venom poison attack could be enough for you to find some openings. And there's that key BKB we've been looking for in Crystallis. So now the Bloodseeker can stand up front, cop these spells, get some damage and control out for the team, and start to clean up once these heroes do start to drop low.
Well, they're going to smoke off the back of it. As soon as he has it up, Puppy pops the smoke, running down towards the bottom lane. Mind you, Tiger is in position to break the smoke immediately, so it's not quite the target you really want to try and go after. So they will split out DM, but he was TPing away. So Tiger is eventually going to be the sacrificial lamb that will try for the TP play out, and he's not going to make it. Oh, that was a little bit close for comfort.
Yeah.
Goodness.
A little bit tighter, but they clean up. They've got the damage now. You know, it's there. It's flowing out now from Chrysalis, so
Radiant's middle
you've
tower
got some
is
out
under
to play with.
attack.
You've got some damage, and you've got the protection of Aegis. You've got room here for the side of Secret to start shoving in. Bot here being sieged by RML and FBZ. Doesn't take too long for the familiars to machine gun through those objectives. And I like that FBZ is going for the Ags now. He'll have the silence the grave up. He'll have a lot of damage, a lot of scouting potential coming out here. OG haven't been as disciplined with vision this game, feels like, in terms of their placement of wards, but they have traps to at least keep up. They will need sentries though, once that Ags is up. Still a ways off, but once it's up and running for FBZ, you can start to find these easy pickoffs.
That you can. Mid tier 1 tower going to be under siege. OG not looking to try and defend this, it seems, as it does go down.
Has fallen.
Secret, they'll head into that dire jungle, I should say.
Dire's middle tower.
Immediately OG just dissipate, not wanting to be around this area. They are getting closer to some key items, like Seb's got a, 200 gold away from the Blink now, so you're going to be afraid of that. 4 stuff coming out soon on DM. Silver Edge being worked on by the TA. You got some nice items coming out very, very soon, so they just want to try and wait out this Aegis on RML first before they really get going. You are probably going to be pretty close to the match style of the Bloodseeker, though, by the time you are ready to fight. But they should still have their opening. They should still have a pretty good chance to try and force a fight here as OG. Once the Aegis does expire, of course.
Under attack.
And for OG, they're playing it patient. They understand now that they're going to need a little bit more coming out from BZM outside of the Kisses. Going to need his talent spikes to really kick in. They'll try to work their way onto level 20. And try to keep this build-up coming out on Uragi. He has opted for a Shadow Blade into the Silver Edge. They want a source of break to deal with Armel. Armel is going for a really aggressive blink. Just wants to be able to gap close, initiate for the team. Gonna be able to do a lot with that. Aegis does expire now, so OG's done a good job of avoiding, but and Secret for their part aren't looking to engage with Aegis, just wanting to farm. This is exactly what they're getting.
Oh, Yamich, nice tree cut from Tiger. We'll just pop the cogs to try and get away, but Liftback is there from Puppy. And sure, Tiger does die here. Zarmel will take the kill for himself. Tiger just getting a little bit too excited on the clockwork. Is going to pay for it with his life. But again, I don't think he cares about dying because he's just getting so much space and info for his team. He's just happy to throw his life away as the clockwork over and over again. Just knowing how many heroes have to rotate to get this done. And OG just move across the map, though I say that BZM... Nah, he's fine. It's TP away. Boundless was not going to be there in time anyway.
It's a little bit unfortunate for Chrysalis. Probably wants a Basher, but really needs the Manta first. It's understandable here for the Bloodseeker in this game. Into the Mjolnir as well for a little bit more attack speed coming out. Should be really nice to start to rip through some of these heroes here once that is up and running. BZM just being very patient, farming up in the jungle, playing safe. Has the full Gleipnir up with the Dragonlance going for the Lincoln Sphere next. I mean, once that little Shredder uses your attack damages up, once you hit that 20 talent, it can be a little bit ridiculous with how far BZM can attack. With a Grove Bow and the Dragonlance up, of course, could be a little bit scary, but for now, not an issue. Full Silver Edge up on Uragi, so the break is on hand. We've got a way of dealing with Armel if they can find that jump.
Well, the question is, can you find the jump though? Like, I just feel like we haven't really seen a big fight in quite a while, and the net worth is still just sitting very even. In fact, the win probability right now is 49 to 51% in favor of OG by 1%. That's how close the game is right now. It's just anyone's game to take. One fight could dictate who wins this game with the way this is going. We'll find out in 40 seconds as well when Roshan's going to respawn, so obviously that's going to be a huge objective for either side.
Dire's
Secondary
middle
Roshan, very, very important in a game like this, where it's just, you know, neck and neck. On the top side, there is a bit of rotations happening here. Like, Yamich get a deep observer ward down, but that's going to be about it for him. Just keep tabs on the outpost on that dire side of things. There's your eggs up on FBZ now, so he's got the Silent as the Grave now available. Much more annoying to try and deal with him on the Visage. So they are going to group up, Team Secret. Perhaps thinking about a smoke as 5, but instead no, they're running right towards Tiger. Tiger pops the jetpack, tries to go for a run. With the drums popped, he's going to be just fine.
are fortified.
Bails out. Good sentry placement out from OG. They had a good border as well earlier on. That wasn't the ward that would freeze sentries right around it. And OG knowing these ward spots,
Bottom tower
allowing them to stall for time. They managed to clear out bot tier 2. All of that happens, again, to push potential with Enigma and Venomancer still up, and Yuragi's actually looking to pressure onto the high ground just a little bit.
Radiant's bottom tower
Secret need to react. They know Secret are probably waiting for Roshan. That's why they're doing this. They'll force the reactions back from Secret. FBZ, he gotta be careful. They don't have the vision right now to see him. Yuragi, he's still running. He's gonna find himself a Puppy Rubik. Puppy immediately getting annihilated here by the TA. The DM now gonna be targeted by FBZ, taking a fair bit himself, but he will be able to escape. As Seb has somehow landed himself on the high ground, he'll be spotted by Armel. Oh, the chains! And the Boundless again, not there in time. So Seb freely able to TP away. A little bit unfortunate again from Team Secret. And OG. Oh, they've done a very good job. Again, forcing Secret to rotate across the map. Delaying the Roshan attempt. And Secret, they will eventually start it now. But OG should be able to respond just fine. With this rocket flare vision, they'll know it's happening. But can they make it in time to contest? The answer is yes, they can.
They've not got the forward vision here in Team Secret. Can't really spot it. And smoke out OG. And they've been holding on to this black hole and Seb for all game here as well.
Yamich trying to set up with a nice balance, perhaps. Tiger still just being a nuisance, standing in the front, just waiting for someone to make the jump in as they found the Monkey King. Yamich could be a nice pick-off to get early on. Looks like he does get caught. Meanwhile, Armel just casually jumping in onto BZM, and FBZ's there as well. The black hole, it's only really got some familiars and Armel, but it's still doing the work they require. Armel is gone. Triple kill for Yuragi. Chrysalis at least will be able to go for a run with all the first movement speed he gets. But I can't say the same for Puppy, who does get left behind. Sam will get tipped by DM. And with that, they're on to Roshan.
And just great understanding on OG. Really good position for Seb to pop that black hole. He saw an early spell steal coming out from Puppy, I believe, with the animation flying out. They had the room to just commit. Now with Roshan in the hands of OG with the Aegis down and the cheese for their end, you're approaching that level 20 mark for BZM. And he's also almost finished up with the Daedalus. Like, this is scary times for Secret. That advantage, that closeness in the game, it's crashed all the way down to OG now, Mike. 72% their way. They've hit their spike. It just feels like Secret just couldn't find enough while they had a position to try to force the issue. They succumbed to OG's pressure down bot, get themselves out of position, they lose control of Roche. Now you have to deal with this crazy carry Snapfire.
And Tiger gonna leave himself behind here. Still doing his job. Just gets the vision to tell Yuragi to back his way out and just dies for his team. It's exactly what he needs to do as Armel. This isn't what he needs to do right now. He needs to get the hell out of there. And he will make it. The cookie just never lands on the timber. Had they gotten that cookie though, Armel, he would have been as good as gone.
Yeah, this is... That's BZM hitting without the full Daedalus. Just the tiny crit, not quite enough. But with the full crit and Daedalus, probably a kill would have been coming out there. Secret. Again, they've got the scouting potential with FBZ. They've got the output somewhat coming out with Chrysalis. Got the front line with Armel. They just need to Need to find the angles. Yamich has been trying to give good vision, but this clockwork foil the Monkey King has been massive. Just the jetpack alone, giving you that flying vision is insane. It's giving more than enough to thwart what Yamich is trying to do in setting up for these team fights. And OG, great reads from every single one. Seb in particular, still looking for those black bolts, still finding the angles. Just not being punished.
Oh, they're gonna run into each other. FBZ has spotted Yuragi. What a hook shot, Tiger! He found 2 targets, but it's not gonna matter. They see too many. Too many enemies in the same place. They'll just leave. Had you had the bodies, that would have been an immediate jump in for OG. They might still try. Armel, he's very... I don't want to say far forward, but he's playing on the edge. He'll chain away back towards his team. Secret, I suppose they've got to be the ones playing cautiously right now with 7k net worth behind. Game is looking a little bit rougher for their end of things, but OG, they're playing conservatively themselves. It's not like they're trying to force high ground yet. They're trying to find some pickoffs to make that high ground happen. The Secret not giving them the openings.
No. They're holding our own here on Secret. I think the big thing OG is waiting for is really just the Daedalus on C. Full Daedalus on BZM should be the point where you start threatening a lot more with your Snapfire core.
Radiant's bottom tower
There.
is under
Saw Armel.
Oh, nice hook shot, Tiger. Right on target. Was that blind? Surely he had rocket flare vision. I'm not sure. I didn't see.
I believe he had a flare. I think I
Okay.
did see the flare earlier on. Maybe
Mid
not
lane?
quite dead center.
Yeah, why is everyone just low on Secret in mid lane? What happened to you? DM died, so he's done something on the Venomancer. It's like he got a bit of damage off, that's for sure. Yamich just surviving on about 100 HP on this Monkey King. There's that Daedalus you talked about, by the way, John. The Snapfire now does have it. BZM just gonna really start pumping out some ridiculous damage.
This is when you see true balance. Ice Frog's finest creation.
Yeah. Not yet, John.
No faults
Level
here.
25. Just give it till
No,
level
I mean-
25.
I mean, even at this point, it's pretty much cooked up. All 25 does is ensures that you kill the entire team, but you kill one person with this, or enough. Like, you saw Armel melt without the Daedalus again. This time with the Daedalus, and it's just, it's not gonna last too long. Secret, and they've got to execute somehow here.
It's just hard, because how do you make the jump? Like, Tiger's just always popping jetpack and just scouting out in front of his team. Like, who do you actually jump? Nobody else shows but Tiger. Aegis is gone at 30. Go on,
Has to be
jump.
the silent as the grave, right? It's got to be FBZ trying to scout. And he is trying, but who follows through with him? Armel, Yamich, doesn't feel like Chrysalis can really come up fast enough. Might be a little bit of a fight here.
He's gonna see DM. That's a nice target. If he can get it, that is, because Seb is around the target.
Oh my
Tiger!
God.
That's a perfect hook shot! Black Hole's gonna be cancelled. In fact, stolen by Puppy. Is it gonna make the difference, though? They're trying to make it work. Yuragi getting low, but not quite low enough.
God.
Chrysalis. Oh, he's gonna be careful. That was close. The Bloodtaker barely makes it out. They will lose Puppy, and in fact, I said he made it out, but he does not.
BZM.
BZM catches him with his pants down in the woods. My goodness.
God,
Armel,
right in the nick of time.
get out of there, Armel. It's not safe. They're coming after you, sir. He's going to try and make it out. Yuragi doesn't have the silver edge at least, so it's a little bit more challenging than he would like. Well, they are just slowly chasing him down. He should be okay.
Oh,
Oh, the Gleipnir, my god. That was too close for comfort.
jeez. Oh, you're gonna have your wish, Mike. BZM's very, very close to 25, so we will see perfect balance very shortly. Double
Three
Daedalus
guns are better
build
than
as
one,
well for
John.
BZM. That
Three
it
guns
is.
are better than one.
Well, to be fair, her turret has wait, what? 2 barrels. I guess the
What?
shotgun starts. Yeah, her turret has 2 barrels, right? No, does it have 3? That's
Why do
2.
you have to get... Why are you getting technical, John?
Well, because I'm a nerd, Mike.
I don't know what a barrel is, Jonathan. I mean, I live in Australia. You know? We don't have these guns.
Ah.
Yeah, we do,
Oh, of
we do it the
course.
old-fashioned way.
Yeah, the homemade devices for Australia.
No, we
as
throw
is known.
hands, Jonathan. We went over this
You throw
earlier.
hands. You
We throw
hands.
hands in Australia.
All right, fair enough. And well, the last time Oceania tried to create a tank, it was not
Oh,
the best. You happen to know about it.
We don't we don't need history lessons from you, John. All right, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, it's a very interesting tank, Mike. I forget its name, but it's quite the tank. Ingenious effort.
You're a tank,
Look it
John.
up. I'm sure it's somewhere. Thank you. They're sturdy.
that's a
they're
compliment.
reliable. They eat a
Well, it
lot
is
of
a
diesel. You.
If someone calls you a tank in Australia, that means you're a big boy, as in a built boy, not obese. Though I suppose you know what? Just don't worry about it. I'm going too far into it.
Yeah,
I'm
you're going too far. Stop it, Mike.
OG. Well, they're holding the high ground right now. Jonathan, Team Secret, looking to maybe move in, but no, they will not. Or will they? Smoke up. As 5. This is into the level 25 of the snap, John. He just got it.
Oh God.
But they found Seb on the Enigma. It's a nice start to just take him out of the team fight and he's gone. Seems like OG just want to fight anyway. They just don't seem to care that Seb is down. As Tiger looking for the hookshot opportunity, not going to find one. Does get ruptured up, just trying to hold his ground, even through the blood right. He will miss the hookshot anyway. Complete mess of a fight from OG so far, so Secret, they can move forward. They'll try to go after DM. It's a nice target with the Venom. Here comes a little shredder damage though. BZM from the high ground just doing so much work. As Sam's brought back, they've at least found DM, but Armel goes down for this as Chrysalis will go down to Bird. Not the fight. Not the one they wanted. Team Secret need to get the hell out of there. Whatever's left of them, that is.
They can go back and lick their wounds here in Team Secret, but you've hit that spike for OG. BZM. He just hits like a truck. And once the double daedalus is up,
Radiant's top tower.
I know what you do about this. You could try to halberd him, and we are seeing damage still work into that halberd, but how do you reach out to halberd Snapfire? That would leave a lot of damage coming out here for Urag as well, so they just go onto the high ground.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
OG, not going to take them very long with the old TA Deso. Swiftblink certainly helps out the cause as well, as Tiger being very cheeky again, going right into the tree. Can they not see him? I don't think they can. Uragi, he's going to get jumped, but he's fine. Meanwhile, hookshot from Tiger from the backside. Just going to hold everyone back anyway. And Tiger gets himself in a bit of a cheeky spot where he couldn't actually be seen by anyone.
Finds a good position again to break up that fight, to break up that counterfight coming out here. That was the buyback of Chrysalis being forced out. So your Bloodseeker's just stalled out in this Ags time and trying to play with a barrier. Not going to have it anytime soon. Meanwhile, Double Daedalus is fully finished up for BZM once he flies his courier out. Or commits for the buy. Or just holding on to some buyback gold here if he wants it.
Is under attack.
And, no, yeah, doesn't quite buy. Just holding on. Damage will ramp up. Roshan respawning in a few seconds here as well. Gonna head down bot immediately. Probably not gonna have enough time to try to kill off here on Secret. But Secret will be aware of that spawn timer at the very least.
Twin gate usage. OG, they're going right into the belly of the beast if they're not too careful. Instead, they'll hold the bottom side as Roshan has respawned officially now. Armel. Just busy defending the bottom lane. Not going to get caught by a cookie of BZM. Meanwhile, the rest of Secret just forcing out the top wave. So Roshan's there, but it seems like it is going to come down towards the bottom side where OG are just casually waiting. Secret, they may have had a slight opportunity to try and swipe that away, but with the way the lanes were forced out, they had really no chance.
And this is not going to take too long for Uji to clear out now around here. A little shredder up. Minus armor you've got. Roche is just basically gone. See if Secret manages to find a follow-up fight, though.
It doesn't seem like it. Scan was out anyway to get the vision. Or get the info that they were there.
Man. 3 Ags as well for Uragi.
Very
So
nice.
he can just keep jumping across the map. That psionic projection. Just keep the split push going. Choke out Secret. Very hard. Force him into the high ground.
Secret, they're holding high ground, they're waiting. DM, he's going to be jumped. The Blood Ride is there as well. DM just melting through the damage output. Will drop. OG still thinking about this fight though. Tiger's providing so much vision again, but he'll forcing a bit of a scuffle. He does hookshot away, but he ends up killing himself. Zuragi is trying to get this done on his own, and he's kind of doing a good job of it. This BCM jumps in with a little shredder. Armel is just melting to the damage output. He will barely survive, but perhaps not for long. The poison's still ticking him down. DM trying to move in, misses the gale. Not quick enough. So Armel's going to be alright. 1 for 1.
1 for 1. Buyback on DM. Not as big as the earlier commitment out from Crystallis, but still a nice little get here for the side of Secret. Second Daedalus fully up now.
This one's gonna hurt. This one is gonna hurt. BZM looking to move in. Has it charged up. We'll just commit onto the tier 3 tower though. This is when you get into that real painful territory against that Snapfire. They'll try and Yuragi. Little Shredder, almost deleting both Visage Familiars, but not quite. They'll survive another day for now. And even the annoying thing is they're just casually waiting for Little Shredder to be back up every time. As Armel losing over half his HP to BZM. He wasn't even broken.
Nope. Doesn't need to be. They did hand the Ags over to Seb, so you've got the gravitational pull in the black hole.
Uh-oh.
With the old Midnight Pulse effect on, so it's a lot of damage coming out now on that black hole if you can get it out here.
Yuragi again. They'll try to target the TA, but with the refraction, he just blinks out. Mel, and again being targeted, will try and get his way out of this one, but it's not looking too good for him. He'll barely escape, but not for long. The Poison Nova. Or rather, the Noxious Plague, I should say. On they go. OG, they're not done. Top Rax is now under siege. Team Secret, they'll buy back on at least Armel. Rupture again on Tiger, but he's off the map now with the jetpack.
Jeez.
Tiger will eventually die at least. Meanwhile, Yuragi, still manning up, will eventually blink away, as now DM's going to get ruptured here by Crystallis. But it doesn't matter, because he's just going to TP out. They're just disengaging. Though OG, they have left Yuragi and BCM behind. This could be the opening they've been looking for. They'll tree top on the Monkey King though.
God.
And now Armel. Armel's gonna get the hell out of there. It's too much damage. They can't deal with BCM, let alone Yuragi. Zarmel, he might just die back and he's gone. Oh boy. You got these two cores that you just... Who do you target? Like, do you target BCM and risk just getting wiped? Do you go after Yuragi with an Aegis? Like, who do you go for?
There's no easy answer. You know, you disarm the TA, sure, but the Snapfire stands a mile behind. Just little shredders to you. Top Rack's gonna go. No buyback in terms of full mega creeps up. Team Secret doesn't feel like they've got too much to hold on to here. Aegis still up and running, Cheese still available. Not much to stop OG from this push.
T4 Tower's under siege, that'll be one gone. Yuragi happily taking care of it as FBZ trying to set up with the familiars. Yuragi sees him for a moment, does jump in immediately for the Meld Strike, but really gets no damage off. As Seb still holding on to the black hole, just daring them to come forward. It's very hard to force the defense here without your Timbersaurus. Now that Little Shredder is out, Yamich will kind of save the day, buying a bit more time. Crystallis, though, already just melting to the damage output. He can't survive through it. You've got to call it. It's too much. Genius call. The black hole is out for celebration. Pull in the Rubik. Puppy's part of the party, too. OG, they will secure a 2-0 victory over Team Secret in this best of 2 series. That's great news if you are an OG fan, John, because they needed the points.
Yeah, they dragged themselves up to a 1-1-3 scoreline and dragged Secret down to a 1-1-2 scoreline and Secret down to a 1-1-2 scoreline. So they improved their odds of maybe gunning for that top 2 spot. Certain things have to happen tomorrow, though, for 9 Pandas in particular. I think they're the ones in danger. So we can take a look at those highlights coming out here for that last match. OG, again, playing very disciplined for the most part, understanding their early spike, sitting back and farming up when it started to fade away in Secret for finding openings. But overall, it just felt like the same issues from game 1 here for Secret, Mike. Like, they just didn't feel like they were taking control of the game. You know, they weren't taking the initiative. They weren't able to find these fights as often as they'd want to, and OG managed to bail out and re-engage on their own terms every single time.
Well, they certainly did. OG obviously showing up today here in these final series at least. I mean, obviously the first half of the day was not too great for them, but this game, this series overall was fantastic. Mind you, Team Secret, like, showing signs of brilliance here for sure. Not the, you know, not out of it yet, to say the least here, Team Secret, but maybe just some cleaning up to do. Because it just didn't look as clean as what you'd expect from a team like this, and we'll see how they change things up. Obviously, they still have a series on tomorrow, I believe, so there is that. Perhaps they can kind of adjust there as... OG, on the other hand, I suppose they're in a bit of a similar boat. They've got to keep winning and see if they can get that done. They're on the right path, though, at least, John.
That they are. Like, if somehow, if Team Secret wins their last match, they do have Extreme Gaming. If Team... No, I'm looking at it wrong. They do have 9 Pandas, so that's the determinant match. Actually,
Right.
if 9 Pandas loses Team Secret, there could be a tiebreaker for that decider slot, like who gets into the group stage smoothly and who has to play those decider matches. And OG will also have the Finder win up against Extreme. So those two series are pretty much a determinant for ties coming out, and that's where your openings are for Secret and OG. Both of them have to find those wins to force a pretty massive set of ties. So we'll see, but again, these play-ins, like, it's a lot of games in a very little time. Every single match counts. OG finds the big one in keeping some hopes alive for the free ride into group stage, but even if things don't pan out, they've always got the decider matches, and I think coming into it, I do feel like OG is not a team you can count out. You can, even though their scoreline's not the most impressive here, Mike, it is looking like they're a strong team. They understand their timings and they play around it well.
You know, another strong man, Jonathan, is the Colonel. We've got the Colonel's Choice highlights here to show off, I think, and here we go. The Colonel's Choice, presented by, of course, KFC, and you're kind of looking at the highlights chosen here. I mean, it was a big day of Dota, John. I don't know exactly how many series were on today. I think it was something like 24 individual series or something crazy like that. So I can only imagine what picks they've made, but, well, here you go. Quest versus 9 Pandas, a big vortex from this storm, my goodness. And I think this is what we were saying earlier about Kiyotaka. Like, this guy on this storm, he's pretty ridiculous.
Can get out of control very fast when he does get in that storm. A really good choice by the Colonel there, Mike. Just like his choice of chicken is always good.
I mean, it is. I've got nothing to say. This isn't a joke, Jonathan. It's some pretty damn good chicken.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's
there you
good
go.
chicken.
There we go. We've got a save of the day already, Jonathan. You're selling out as terrible. Can we bring the save of the day? There we go. Of course, this one's brought to you by Dr. Sulaiman Al Habib. So here we go. Well, who's the save? TA2000 got saved by disruption, I believe it was. Was that the save? I missed this game, John. Jump in on the Skyrath. Was it TA2000? It was TA2000.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you distracted me, John. I missed out.
How did I distract you? You were just mumbling on by yourself. I was distracted by Dr. Sulaiman Al Habib. That is a pretty sick logo on the lower right. I didn't know about the logo. You know, it's my first time seeing it. It's like, that's a cool logo.
Play of the day, perhaps, is what we can look at, Jonathan. I'm going to ignore you completely and focus on what's happening here. What's the play that... Oh, did we cast this series, John? We should remember this one. Go on, tell me what happens.
Crystallis dies.
He certainly does. And this was, of course, Seb just chasing down Puppy with an iron shell. Poor Puppy. Imagine dying to an Enigma with an iron shell. What a sad death.
I don't think anyone ever expects that when you play a game like that. Not even in your turbo games do you expect the Enigma to run up and do that to you. And very well executed coming out from OG. Certainly a very worthy choice for the play of the day, because who expects that? Who expects that, Mike?
With that, Jonathan, I think we can end off the day. It's been a fantastic day one for the play-ins of the Riyadh Masters 2023. It's been a very long day, but the day is now officially over. Of course, we are going to be back tomorrow for some more play-in games, and after that, Jonathan, we're back into the group stages of the actual Riyadh Masters. So things are getting hype already after our first day of the play-ins. Of course, it is MLP Dota, it's Jonix Fire, and it's been a pleasure. We'll catch you all again tomorrow for some great international Dota